Stuart, I've joined you in the haircut club. Because I'm filming tomorrow. So I'm on camera. First time in a long time, so I'm all neat and Starfleet-esque. Give or take, you know. Close enough. We'd like to think so. Oh. Half, yeah, the barber didn't quite get them right. They may be more pointed this way, he did more pointed that way, so hopefully I can tweak them slightly. But, yes. Gotta do the sideburns, very important, because people will notice and... Well, no, but it's more, as long as you sort of have sideburns, it's okay. Oh, you can't grow sideburns? Ah. Oh, wow. Hmm. Huh. So what you're saying is prosthetic makeup appliance sideburns if you want to go full TOS. Don't you want to look like Kirk? And that was a whole good story. Why would you be muted? Didn't you check the audio? Didn't you hear us? Well, as soon as it started. Hello, everybody. He was talking the entire time. That's great. Which doesn't help the fact that you read that out. Keep talking. Yes, you are. Keep saying things. No, I don't. Is there any? Now, is there any audio on
Is
there?
work stressing you out?
Ah, okay. Maybe it's because I'm. Right, says it now?
Something right now.
There you go, okay.
Oh, now I'm all sexy.
Okay. That does not make sense. Right, hello Stuart. Sideburns, you can't go sideburns, sorry. I had a great story.
I did too. I mean, I can't grow them, and then they grow long.
Prosthetic sideburns, Stuart. You need them for a TOS
no,
role.
no, we're not doing that.
Okay.
So I read Kit's 2 super chats again. Kit 10K, $5. Fun time.
I said hopefully, and you said maybe. That was
yeah. I said no. I said is it though?
Okay, sorry.
Kit 10K, another $5. Can't hear you, Cap. And then Captain Chili Beana throws in $10. Guinan was frustrating. New actor is nothing like Whoopi in appearance or demeanor. Didn't buy it. If not going to do it right, de-age or deepfake, then don't do it. Episode didn't need her.
No. Huh? One. Say something?
Something? Hi? Words?
1, 2. No, it should just be a single audio track. Okay, so it's two of me, but I don't hear two of me. Yeah. Yes, Chuck, new haircut. Looking back to Starfleet. Yes. Lots to talk about today. And yet not a lot at the same time. It was very much next...
Car chase.
Well,
yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate it. But I'll start sharing, get the audience in.
Yeah.
Get us talking, see what people think.
Alright. Joshua11345 puts in $5 and says, ignore if I already answered, but how do you think the Confederation dealt with the whale probe from Star Trek 4? I don't know, maybe blasted it out of the sky somehow. Maybe they had more advanced tech. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to speculate at this point. Anyway, guys, hit that like button. Super chats are a great way to help us as well. We really appreciate them. But hitting that like button is one of the easiest ways. We already have 72 people here with 32 likes. Let's try to get to 50 likes right away, as is the rule. Let's just hit that like button. It's a thing you can do. It's super easy. It's barely an inconvenience. Also, there is a sale on the TeePublic stuff right now. They're 40% off. It's another 2 days. So click that TeePublic store link down in the description. Check out some Trekyards merchandise. Maybe get yourself a cool Trekyard shirt or something. We would really appreciate that as well. So yeah, take advantage of the sale while you can. 40% off. Other ways you can help is PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent that, and we'll read your comment or question via the email. Also, you can join the channel. There's a join button there. And if you hit that, you can see the different member tiers and what that entails. It's like a monthly subscription thing. Very, very small amounts, which go up to larger amounts. So you can select your rank as you see fit. But please click that join button and at least give it a look. Would really appreciate that as well. I want to get 2 new members during this live stream. So if we're able to get 2, that would be amazing. You'd really help us out, and we would definitely give you a special shout out and a thank you for that. So if you're able to, please do so. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Lots of ways to help yourself out and us. Like I said, there's links in the description, affiliate links to Eagle Moss, Trekyards discount code, stuff like that. So lots of great ways to support us and yourself if you're willing. So please consider doing so. I will also have a number of polls during this live. Please go vote on them. Your opinion matters to us. It steers our conversations and really makes this community amazing in terms of, communication and just sharing thoughts and ideas. So please, answering the polls are always important. Yeah. But it's not a younger version. We saw a younger Guinan. Yes, well.
Hello.
Captain Chili Bean, there is the argument that this Guinan is a younger Guinan who eventually time travels back to 1800. So, Anyhow. Misha throws in $5. Let's see if it's working today or not. It is. Their super chats are working, Misha. So thank you so much for joining us. And Fat Produce puts in $5. The Time Zero issue personifies the problems with modern Trek. Also, modern Trek is always in a rush to get to a scene where they take their time. Yeah. So lots to talk about with this one. Boom, boom, boom. Sam's audio is very quiet, says Matt. So boost your gain. I know you're muted right now, but before you got muted, somebody else asked to turn up your audio. But do what you can, my friend.
Okay, so first poll, and it's very specific because quality of actors, actresses notwithstanding. The question is, do you think the new actress playing Guinan captured the feel of Guinan? Not if you liked her or not, but capturing the feel. So I want to ask that straight away. Neither like or dislike, did they capture the feel? But yes, hi Stuart. How's it going? We had a day today, didn't we, Stuart?
We did.
Do you want to tease our long night of filming today? You're welcome to.
Sure. A lot of time travel issues with this one, even though Terry, the showrunner, had an answer for a few things which didn't make any sense. So anyway, we're going to release on Saturday. We filmed a bunch of Time Travel 101 videos that are both pro and con as to the time travel in Star Trek and how it relates to Picard that we saw in this episode.
Yep. And
the whole Time Zero issue. So there'll be a lot of little mini breakdown videos that you guys can watch and kind of form your own opinions. Mm-hmm. But we cite different examples from throughout Star Trek canon and kind of go into detail. I was kind of asleep during it, and you can tell by watching the videos.
He is more asleep.
But Sam did a lot of research and a lot of stuff to kind of make it worth your time. There'll be a Time Travel 101 playlist that you guys can watch them all. So
because they do both in Star Trek, and so we're just going to put the facts out there, and you can put your own mind out, and they're really interesting. So check out those. There'll be a lot of stuff on. They're all very short, but a lot of stuff on Saturday. Kind of shotgun approach to theories, but it'll let you kind of see all the spectrums. So, Stuart, what did you think of Season 2, Episode 4 of Picard, and how does it compare to the other 3?
It's the worst of the 4, for sure. I remember saying that I really enjoyed it the first time we did the review. I've watched it now 3 times since, and it's going down.
Sorry, how many times have you watched it?
Sorry? Watched it 4 times now.
And it's going less good each time.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you can ignore the glaring issues with time travel and the new Guinan, it's pretty interesting. Oh, well, I'll also ignore the car chase, because that goes on way too long. And apparently I've been told by a few people that it's all around the LA Convention Center. They don't actually go anywhere. They just keep filming stuff around the convention center. And apparently 10 Forward is also like right across the street from the convention center. So very limited filming locales, but hey, that's okay. As a whole, it was an all right episode. I feel like it could have been shortened down quite a bit and had some more meat to the bones. But the reveal of the Gary 7 type supervisor was interesting. Don't understand the Laris thing, but that's a whole other conversation. So it's bringing back something from TOS, from Assignment Earth, which is nice. And other than that, it was all right. Like I said, it was the worst of the 4 by a long mile, actually. I hope it gets better from here, because it seems like the quality is kind of dipping a little bit, and we're still stuck in 2024. So hopefully that moves along pretty quickly. So that's kind of my thought on it. How about you?
Obviously, my opinion tends to change a bit while watching it twice. As a lot of these things, my expectations are then completely altered because I'm just watching it for what it is, and there's no hope or waiting or eagerness, The first time I watched it was very much, God, I hope Guinan's not the Watcher. Well, first of all, God, I hope Guinan's not in it, and that's a red herring. Then, God, I hope it's not the Watcher. Then, God, I hope it's not Laris. And I got all of those 3 things in a short succession. That was the first time I watched it. Now, the thing that really saved this episode for me, conceptually, is that, and this was during our review, you can watch my face as a light goes on my face. Most people I don't think will understand that reference at the end being the Gary 7 alien-style teleportation device, at least a visual update, but it's perfectly valid.
Yeah.
Without that context, it's just, oh dear, it's Larity. And they might love the actress, that's absolutely fine, but it's like, okay, it's not particularly exciting of all the things it could have been, etc. When you understand it is that TOS link, that becomes super exciting, and that certainly, once you know that, once you're spoon-fed that, the second time's better. The ending has a lot more oomph to it, which really helps. But I'm not into politics very much, and the social political issues, they're more heavy-handed here than they need to be. And I just rewatched some other, obviously, time travel episodes, the ones with Cisco, and a lot of the ways they approach these topics are much more nuanced and, old school writing where they thought the audience had a larger attention span, they could be more subtle. Here it was far more abrasive, and so it's more surface level, and you watch it and you just move past on it. Now, if you're in this situation, you'll obviously find it more, but that's not most people, so I'm just taking it as an outsider, etc. And while I think each scene was good, it was the weakest of the 4, because the things I really enjoyed episode 1 are almost all removed here. The only thing was the Borg Queen stuff, which kept an interesting arc. And that's it, probably, from the stuff I liked from episode 1 and 2. So it's definitely a different show now. Feels like they started with every single gun blaring. They started at 150% trying to regain an audience they'd massively damaged from season 1. And they gained them back. They put a lot of money and time. So then when you have these episodes, this one in particular, this felt very pandemic-y. Because they reused the bar, existing set, with 2 people. Felt very similar to episode 1. They reused the chateau for a 3rd time, redressed it, felt very similar to episode 1 and 2. They had a warehouse with a chain metal fence in the middle. It doesn't feel like a big set. It feels very limited and small and pandemic-y. A car chase from inside a car, small and limited-y. And a police quarters area, small and limited-y. So it doesn't have any of that scope. Oh, and also less arena as well. So it feels a lot more insular, small scope, and pandemic-y, whereas the other ones had a bit more oomph to them. So I think that combines with my overall vibe of it's okay. It's not bad, but it doesn't really excel in any way. whereas the other ones had something they did really, really well. So it feels very much like a travelling episode rather than a doing its own thing. Long explanation there, Stuart, but it's quite nuanced in my opinion. It's quite varied, actually. It's not bad, it's just I expected more now. There is such a high bar, and the bar's slipping every week.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Whew.
Good summation.
Yes,
Kaylee
summation.
Anderson, though, throws in £5.
Thank you.
As if TNG didn't happen in this timeline, did Future's End not happen? How did the tech revolution happen without ChronoWorks? Yep. We talk about that. And why does the punk on the bus rub his neck like he has already encountered Spock? Obviously, the Federation did exist. But anyway, whatever. Yep. Moving on. Captain Chili Bina has been a member for 17 months in the rank of captain, so thank you so much.
We know you love we know you love us and we love you. Thanks so much.
Yes, I'm hoping the trend of decreasing quality in episodes doesn't continue into next week. The season started off amazing, and now just okay. Well, I don't know. With bringing in the Gary 7 connection, it's still exciting. So hopefully that stays the course.
Well, it's different themes, because if you watch an episodic Star Trek episode season, some people don't like the in DS9 the episodes with Vic Fontaine because they just don't like that vibe. So you're not going to enjoy those as much. Some people like the war stuff. Some people like the science stuff. So it's not so much a decrease in quality. It's just they'll focus on stuff that my side of fandom doesn't enjoy as much after the other stuff. You know, seeing the Stargate, seeing all the other stuff. So it's not. And the writing is still pretty good. It's just the focus is then so shifted and just yeah.
Yeah, Captain Chili Bean in the regular chats goes on to say, "Yes, I love you guys." Well, thank you. We love you too. So
thank you so much. And guys, definitely do super chat. We really want to know your thoughts. Hopefully, Picard will keep on being popular. So make sure we put in a few fives. We're a long way from our minimum, so help us out if you can. So first scene, Stuart, we start off with a phenomenal visual effects shot of, and it was really helped set the scene because last week it was kind of you didn't really get to appreciate the crashness, and you get this great zoom out and some of the CGI. This sucks. So good job them making it look so good. Like to make this sucks.
Yeah, it's a nice intro to the episode, but it's very short. It's just trying to contact Rios, and then we move to the clinic. So, but yeah, the visual of the abandoned estate is quite nice. And
one thing that people on Twitter are pointing out that butterflies are the big visual this season because there's a butterfly on that door and Picard holds a butterfly. The butterflies everywhere. That's going to be like the Doctor Who Bad Wolf of this season. There's going to be some butterfly element, big element, and I just noticed it whilst in this door. Like it's everywhere.
Well,
in all the
I guarantee you, the lady Teresa, the doctor. I bet you she's got a butterfly tattoo.
Oh yeah. And then there'll be someone
who was told to avoid butterflies.
That's true as well. Yeah. Or someone phones them up on a phone and says, "You are the one. Follow the white butterfly." And they go to a nightclub and they start dancing.
And no.
But maybe this is the butterfly Q timeline. Would be a fair way of saying it because he's probably a Q created timeline. Now I did also Leah Thomas or Thompson, I can't remember which way you say it, is the Back to the Future actress who's done a lot of directing now, and she did this as a block of directing, which means you do both at the same time. So in fact, a lot of that was focused on reusing the same set. So they filmed these clinic things back to back, probably even on the same day after a bit of redress. So there is that somewhat sense of lack of development because they're recycling a lot of stuff because it was literally filmed at the same time using the same sets. So there's a certain why.
And Kaylee Anderson asked, "Did they leave Rios' communicator in the clinic?" Yes, it was on the front desk.
But they didn't scan it when it was there, so I assume it's been taken by somebody. Otherwise, they would have got it.
Yeah.
So there'll be some other element to that. Otherwise, they forgot about it, which would be sad.
And you can't leave it in the past.
Yeah,
that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you change the future, that kind of edge wouldn't exist anyway. So.
Oh yeah, according to this new logic, yeah, it would disintegrate.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Anthony Foster puts in $10.
Thank you.
Gonna watch it when I get home. Do you guys like the current trajectory of the show so far? Yes, actually. Yes is my answer because they are tying in things from Assignment Earth and stuff as well. So.
Well, the trajectory is doing this now.
It's kind of wobbly, wobbly, timey.
You can't tell where it's going, so I'm just gonna have faith in them. But in fact, Fat Muffin. I said that out loud.
Fart Muffin.
Sorry. You're a fat farting muffin. There you go. I doubled it. The Sung loves his butterflies. He made them on his android planet last season. That I remember distinctly. Now you've said it. That's interesting. Oh, maybe Arik soon, I think was his name. He went back in time first. Maybe he went back in time to talk to his own great granddad to undo because he doesn't want to do this X, Y, and Z. Maybe. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting if he's so pissed off by how the galaxy treated his children, even though they're being nice to them now, then back in time and then change his own family's legacy, and now he's butterflying everything because he spray paints on doors. I don't know. That'd be a hell of a bring to Brentford and have a season 1 link.
Could be the link to soon for sure. Yeah.
Damn, Brent's the villain.
Kit 10K throws in $10, so thank you so much, Kit. Guys, the likes, get them up. Show Trekyards the love they deserve. Yeah, we want to hit 100 likes at least now with 140 people here, so please do.
And Valkyrie says, I enjoyed this episode for the most part, but I feel like they pumped the hard brake, or the brakes hard, of progression of the story. Yes, but I think they definitely they saved money.
Girardi told Seven to pump the brakes, and everybody on the set heard it and was like, "Oh shit!" You know, like so. Yeah.
Oh, and Django says, no, Yarl's from a different timeline. Yes, Enterprise did disappear. Nope, that was the same timeline. Quantum Picard logic gets erased. That was still the prime timeline. Sorry.
Yeah. Matthew DeFritas, $5. Enjoyed this episode, but I'm getting tired of being talked down to in new Trek about society's problems. I watch Trek so I can escape from our problems. Yes, I would agree with that as well. It like Samuel said in his kind of summation, it is very heavy-handed in this episode in particular. Well, I wish they would have had one more guard that was a little more sympathetic to the cause, opposed to being evil, you know?
Because in theory, those guys are just doing their jobs for the government, following the laws of the land. I mean, this is, it's like making a police officer seem like a bad guy. Well, they're there to protect people. It's literally their job, etc. I don't think these episodes are going to age as well, because when you go heavy-handed, the messages becomes literal rather than potential. And I think 15 years on, I say, oh, this is just, they were a bit full on this time. Whereas the subtlety of, like the last line of the Sisko episode is fantastic. Is Bashir asking Sisko, "Sir, can I just ask, how did they let it all get so bad?" Slow pan Sisko. I don't know, Doctor. And that makes you think. It's not Sisko saying, well, Doctor, this. And I know I talked about it earlier in the episode, but a diatribe would not work as well. So they've certainly, But I mean, like I said earlier, my attention spans are less, so they can't be as subtle because I don't think people are going to get it. Which is talking down potentially, but, I don't know. It's...
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €10, so thank you so much. Honestly, everything since episode 2 felt like a rug pull to me after the turnaround in episode 1. Now it's back to season 1 cynicism and degrading of Picard. Guinan especially felt the opposite of who she should be. Yeah, Guinan did not feel like Guinan at all. Actually, it's funny because I watched this with Sylvia, as you know, and she's like, "Oh, you're going to see Guinan. She's going to be de-aged." And I'm like, just sitting there being quiet on the couch.
Oh, is that what she said?
And she's... Yeah, and she says, "You've seen this, so you're being quiet. I just kind of want to know what's going on." Like, I'm not telling you. And so she sees Guinan, and she got pissed off. And when you piss off Sylvia in Star Trek, you done fucked up. You did something wrong. So, yeah, she's even down to the delivery of the lines and everything was just. It annoyed her and it annoyed me before that. So, yeah, I get it.
So Hunter says, part of the issue, and I do agree, but we'll jump into that when we get to those scenes. Part of the issue with time travel in Trek is the sheer longevity of the series. It's been with us for over 50 years. They've already predicted the near future and never came to pass. But Hunter, it's not our Earth. So they're not predicting events because it's not our future.
It's the past of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Well, I did find it really silly that they've now canonized Rick and Morty, at least their version of Rick and Morty, but also there's Uber in the Star Trek timeline. So despite the eugenics war, Uber still exists. So not necessarily about the same man, but it's like you shouldn't keep adding the same modern day contemporary things because the fun is that the universe is change.
They're speaking to the new younger audience, the millennials who grew up or was born in 1995. It's all they know. That's the problem. They want to have it resonate with them with things that they're aware of as they're present. That's the problem.
Which, just as that was done for Star Trek 4, that was filmed in the present, and now it looks like a dated historical drama. In 10 years, it'll also feel like a dated historical drama, because this was the future for the entire time of Trek. And within 3 years, just like Back to the Future, it will now be how cute. That's what they thought the future looked like. It's now going to be... But the further you get after 2024, the less you can say, it's our future, because we've already gone past these very clear events. So I wish they'd just made a new name for another rideshare company, because the concept can exist, but why would Uber still exist with all those things, all the variants of changes, etc., etc.? It's a small thing, just I was like, really? You named it Uber? Uber's now canon in Star Trek. And it's like, Is DoorDash? Is Deliveroo? Is Mark Hamill's appearance in DoorDash Deliveroos with Patrick Stewart? You know what I mean?
And Star Wars existed too, because Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker in this world.
What's the thing? If any Star Trek actor does a thing with Uber, it's like, well, now are they? No. But
anyway, yeah, we're getting too deep into that. So, Misha throws in $5.
Thank you.
I'm not sure either of you realize just how crazy things are getting here in the USA. Well, we aren't American, but we do hear the news and stuff, and we don't know. We're not in it, so.
Although international news doesn't report American news like per state,
or
in detail.
It reports it differently than you guys are getting the news fed to you guys on a daily basis down in the States as well. So
and we
I don't think it's all as bad as you think it is.
And we certainly have mostly Ukraine news and England news. I mean, America's it's like we're not hearing about Australia news, except unless they're big COVID stuff. So I mean, you get more news in America, you're literally next to it, but UK certainly doesn't get the news.
Okay. Kit 10K throws in $20. Thank you so much, Kit.
Thank
you. Star Trek has had some great real-life impact. For example, Season 3 of TNG, Wesley asked Riker about getting used to telling a person that a loved one has died, and Riker said, "I hope you never do." I always loved lines like that. Well, that's just good writing. That's how humans talk to each other.
And yes, James Roberts. Yes, James. But then they say about they have to heal the ship, repair the ship, self-regeneration. But we're going to get to a fire, but we're going to cloak first. And these are the exact same Star Trek 3 cloak sound effect, which was lovely. Which means they did steal Klingon cloaking tech, the Confederation. Damn you, Confederation. Yeah. Rather than making your own. But it means they got plenty of power now, which was the problem from last week. Well,
the funny thing is, too, they don't have enough power to turn the heat on. I guess because it's self-repairing that system, possibly. That's what they're going to say. But they have enough power to do a cloak. But
my assumption is it was broken rather than power, because once the Borg Queen came back, she's now on, which means she has power. So I assume that there's power, but systems aren't working properly. It was not made clear, but certainly.
They also talk about the communication thing, which we talked about earlier. She said there's no relays, there's no subspace relays here,
but they can still beam. So beams don't need relays, but comms do, despite beam being a much.
And neither do the communications after she boosts them.
That's true. She does fix away.
Yeah.
Only a short-time problem. But they go to Shadow Picard for the third time. This time, not so well. And we get the, in my opinion, unnecessary retcon of why he's not French-speaking. I kind of like it in a sense, but I've never questioned it because it's the future and people can live without accents. But it's interesting they're trying to quell that plot hole for 50,
Yeah, it's a subtle touchstone, which I liked. I appreciated it, honestly.
It's unnecessary, but it's appreciated.
Yes. Same with Rio Slater. Like, he's like a flesh and blood robot, but they don't really understand it. That was an analog for most of the audience. So it was a nice little thing to add for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's been abandoned for like 100 years now, and they'll move back eventually. But I don't know why in 2024 it would still be abandoned. Just, I don't know. That seems weird to me, but hey.
Well, I mean, countries are big. We don't actually know where in France it is, anyway. And maybe... I don't know.
It's near Paris. You know that.
Is it near, or is it just transporter near?
No, I think it's near Paris. Like, you can... Like, it's very close to Paris.
Oh.
I think we got that sense in season 1. Forget what they showed, but it felt like... Anyway.
I mean, the world's not doing the best right now, so I can see restoring old chateaus isn't necessarily a priority. But And this isn't our world, so the priorities of the French people aren't the same as today, because it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good reuse of the same sets from the last episode, but it does feel a bit Patrick's. Now, better than season 1, where they kept having his holodeck chateau room, which felt so recycled. This at least 3 very distinct iterations of the same set for Patrick to just stand on and talk in 3 episodes, but almost back to back. It's kind of funny if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, and I thought it was going to be a long set of scenes, and it really isn't. Nothing. The first half I think is better than the second half because it does kind of go at a good pace. You see the mum flashback to remind you it's a thing. It's short. It's what it is. Moving on, sort of thing. And you get the Gerati subconscious, which I love the fact that Picard he Dixon Hills it, as you said. He gets it straight away, which is a. I don't agree that the audience member that said they denigrate Picard. I think Picard is relatively well treated once again.
I agree. I didn't think he was treated badly at all.
Like he sounds older this week. I think he just maybe he's been talking for weeks of content, but he's right on that. I mean, it's very very quick pacing, and it only leads these scenes to be really really small. And I really think the pace works well here.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a touchstone as well to cause and effect with data recognizing
which I
number
not
3.
thought, but I love that. I love that.
Yeah, the pattern coming up quite often. So nice. Although he was really paying attention though, for sure, to notice the abacus stuff and the. It's just it's a stretch a little bit, but she says 15 last episode when before she says the coordinate, the number 15 comes out of her mouth, so it's already been said by her. So maybe he just put that together. I don't know.
Well, it shows still his marbles. Like he's still. Okay, that is a. And then you even see his face. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I even love seeing it on his face. Like you see the moment, and you see it's very distinct. Yeah.
But I love Agnes Gerati here. Like I can just see you wandering in a house. Milk, chocolate, hot. That was a nice little line too.
That was beautiful. That was, and this is a much better way of creating a connection with the two of them. It's leeching off season 1 to some extent, but they feel more like on a intellectual par. In a summer, because Picard's still quite smart and Gerati is. Although in reality, she's also like his lab experiment in inverted commas. So there is a certain like I'm also sort of your guardian in a small way, not in an old age way, just a tech way. So there's a good balance here. And I know some people have commented about saying Dixon Hill for him. Doesn't make sense. That's a weird thing to note. I kind of like the idea that it's like saying Sherlock Holmes, but Dixon Hill took over a bit. Because maybe Picard made it famous by, Picard's one of his famous captains ever. He was notable for like in Dixon Hill. People then on the news and found the Dixon Hill novels, realised they were really amazing, and that just became a shorthand.
So it's now instead of no shit Sherlock, it's no shit Dixon.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that, and especially.
And plus, she knows him pretty well, so he
exactly
has talked about it before. So,
and I'd imagine they'd spend quite a bit of time together after he becomes a robot. Just chatting and working out he's fine. So I thought it was odd but fine. I don't know why people had too much of an issue with that.
Yeah. Danny Shields, €5. Labar is close to Switzerland. As it is to Paris, very far from Paris. Okay, it is very far from Paris then. So thank you, Danny.
Beam distance it becomes like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shannon Nash, $10. Regarding La Serena, I think that since this La Serena is a Confederation ship, its power redundancies and auxiliary systems prioritize offense and defensive functions over comfort and medical ones. Yes.
That's certainly true.
Yes, I would definitely buy that for sure.
And also, it's not a freighter, so it's going to have a lot more abilities than a freighter, because it's actually a warship. Small warship, but yeah.
Anthony Foster, $5. Will the writing of Strange New Worlds be akin to TOS and TNG? Individual episodes and not a seasonal arc like Picard and Disco. That's the plan. Who knows whether it'll come to fruition, but yeah.
Yeah, both. It'll have something overarching, but it'll be episodic.
Now, this next scene's great. This is the punk bus. And the words to the song have changed.
Which was spoiled to us. And I love the fact that this was given away by fans noticing for a scene that's so irrelevant in the grand scheme, but it's so big in the Trek scene. So, yeah, that was... Because that guy was on the bus, so thank God it wasn't spoiled, because he was on the bus. But yes.
And, the words to the song have been changed, and they're pretty important, so I'm going to read them here. And by the way, Kirk Thatcher, who plays the punk, I've I've hung out with him multiple times at Wonderfest. He's a fun guy. He's a comedian.
He looks it.
And yeah, he's also into special effects and stuff too. But
don't some Muppet movies or some such.
Yeah. So anyway, it was great seeing him back, first of all. But here's the new words to the song. 35 years later and nothing has changed. Again, very in your face. Those in charge are living large. The rest are all deranged. 'Cause I still hate you. Can't wait to eviscerate you. 'Cause I still hate you. And that's where he gets told to turn it down. And yes, he does the little rub of his collar where Spock nerve pinched him. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry, I just really like this song. So he also, Kirk Thatcher, I want to point out, wrote the original song for Star Trek 4, and he did this updated one as well. So, yeah, there's more lyrics, sorry. The temperatures are rising, the sea level as well, and that's where he turns it down. So, got the little global warming thing in there. Jacoby Demissi throws in $20. I think she's going to become the Borg Queen. Yes, I think that's... We'll get there. When we get to that part of this episode, I want to talk about that a little bit because there's something that I think is going to pay off in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely not subtle, but it's earning its place. So, you know. But yeah, Punk. I mean, this is my favourite part of the episode, hands down.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it the most second time, the most first time. He plays it so perfectly. I mean, it's one of the most iconic moments of that film, which, considering how many iconic moments it has, and considering he's actually got like grey hair now, he looks really like he's older than he looks because they also did a lot to him. No, it's tremendous. Now it is confusing because it does create a internal continuity plot hole where Terry just says, he had deja vu. The showrunner just said, oh yeah, he just deja vu from another universe, and I'm like, because it's not sensible to say that someone grabbed his neck while playing that one song enough to make him have PTSD. It was Spock. There's only one link. It's literal. So, you know. So
well, somebody came up with a great idea on my live last night.
Yes.
The Confederation Kirk went back and put him in a headlock to make him stop. Which, sure, I'll buy that. Whatever. That's a good one.
No chance. Too many events. But it's you know, it's wonderful moment, and I actually read that it's one of his first things he pitched for this season.
Yeah.
Once he knew that he was going to do this. But I mean, he's watching, and it is a bit confusing as well because they are both using actors to reprise and to be different. So we hope they've got the 20th century actor playing the same character.
Yeah.
Because why not? And you could have got anybody to come back as a Punk on the Bus, but the same guy after that many years. Well, they do care about consistency there. So hopefully the other guy's going to be the same, but also could not be.
Before we move on, we got 194 people, which is great. We have
Excellent.
96 likes. We're still not at 100 likes. I want to get to 150 now with almost 200 people here.
Yep.
And I still want 2 new members. So click that join button, see if you can join us on the channel for a small monthly donation. That would be great. And Andy Urich throws in $5. Punk's not dead in Star Trek. It's true. And I got to appreciate the fact like Spock and Kirk were doing good work because this guy learned some respect and realized that, I better turn that down. I'm not going to be an asshole. So, you know, he bettered himself. So let's thank him for that.
He thinks of others now. He will not double dumbass on you. He will not swivel on at Punk. He will not, you know.
I still wish he would have had a, earbuds in, though. That was just cranked really loud instead of having a boombox. The boombox was a little bit of overkill, I think, especially in 2024. I don't even know if you can buy those anymore. But
I mean, he's obviously being. I mean, how many people like retro things?
So that's true.
He's a retro lover, and obviously we know he's been basically on the buses for 30 years. So I asked the poll: this new Guinan, does she feel like Guinan? 63%, no, she didn't capture it. 36%, yes, the vibe was still there.
All right. Hit that like button, guys. He's going to do up a new poll. Please go vote on the poll when you see it. But we have 200 people here now, so we should easily hit 150 likes. So please hit that like button. Like I said, 2 more members. I want 2 members to join during this live stream. We have no new members as of right now, but if you guys want to click that join button, at least look at the options, it would be greatly appreciated. So we get to the next scene. They're talking about having Picard beam out. They ask whether he's sure about that, but he's like, we must find the Watcher. Watcher can help us. So it's important that they get out there and do things. So he does transport to the coordinates. And Andrew Parent has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Commander Parent, sir. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. That is awesome. Thank you. One more member now. We just need one more.
Yes. So Stuart, read out the poll.
Ooh, let's see. What's this new poll? The Bus Punk, what did you think? Loved it, liked it, was okay. I have no soul, I didn't like it. Right.
So once again, back to the Borg Queen, as you said. Still, of all the lesser arena visuals don't work, those engines making them green, they saved those back visuals. That's the perfect thingy for the Queen. But yes, beam, still have the beam sound effect, and the look, still a really good thing. I'm surprised they didn't cross-reference coordinates with where it was, because he was just there yesterday, and he would know, you'd think. Where Guinan's bar was, since he went there. So,
yeah.
Like, there's a lack of research that, Picard would do. Even with Rushed, I mean, bleep, bleep, bleep. Oh, it's there. I was there yesterday. So, bit of a plot hole in that. Because he's very surprised, even though he really shouldn't be.
So, Valkyrie 417 has upgraded their membership from Commander to Captain. So, thank you very much, Valkyrie. That is amazing.
Now, rank me.
And Anthony Foster has also joined at the rank of Commander. So we got our 2 new members. That is amazing. Thank you. That means so much, guys. You have no idea. So I hope you enjoy the bonus stuff that comes with that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming. Because you guys support here, so we can do that as on this channel. But all the extra stuff that's all free. Thank you so much. Amazing. So I did think this was a bit odd. It, again, was reused for efficiency of money. I get that. But just like with Star Wars and Solo, retconning how he got his name, being, my name's Han, what's your surname? Are you with anybody? No, you're Solo then. And that's now forever how he got his name. It completely reduces the coolness of the character by 1,000%. This now tells us that Guinan, her bar is, well, her place isn't called 10 forward on the ship because it's 10 forward. Now she actively asked Picard to be in that space so that he could match her bar on Earth.
Wow, it could just be a coincidence as well.
It's not, no. Because she's pleased was that this bar, say 100 years, and then came back to it in the present. So that's her thing. She's always 10 on Forward Street. It, for me, completely like, it's fine as a reference post Galaxy, but how it pre is, because this is the originator. Then she chose 10 forward on the D because of her bar here, and it's like, oh well, okay.
Before we get to that scene, though, the Borg Queen part's not over. Talks to Girardi, says, you're cruel, and she's like, how am I cruel? By having me active and awake and hanging here by myself where I can't communicate with anybody. And then she goes on to say words like cooperation, assimilation, and connection, kind of teasing Girardi. So it's worth pointing those out.
No, it's great. Every scene pretty much for those two is good stuff. And it's true. Yeah. I mean, you brought me back just to bring me back. And you imagine the actress also like, day 5... Yeah. Day 9. Oh, every day on the same damn set, same arms up, etc.
Well, Mr. Captain 93 puts in $7 Canadian, so thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone is talking Gary 7 or Kin as Watcher, but what if it's Carl, the Guardian, sensing corruption in the timeline? No, that's just stupid. So no offense, but it was referred to as a supervisor, and Gary is a Class 1 supervisor in Assignment Earth. So
yeah, it's pretty sure it's inclusive. But I would say I would be tough seeing the same actor playing Carl in the same costume just turn up. He did a great job. I'd be absolutely fine with that. It would be fun.
Detective Brass from CSI. Casual Trekker has upgraded their membership to Admiral. Thank you very much, Casual Trekker. Now, Casual Trekker, you were there last night during the live as well. You have a wrench. I don't just give wrenches to anybody. Who are you? Because we don't know. Because you're not in the live group chat on Facebook, so we don't know.
For ages though.
I know, but why do they have a wrench? Somebody that I know, obviously. I just want to know who it is because I don't recall. So let me know. Kit 10K throws in $10. If I could upgrade to past Federation president, I would. Yeah, Kit 10K is at the highest rank there for joining the channel.
Well,
so thank you.
You do plenty.
Yeah. Hunter PDX puts in $5.
Such a cool name.
Maybe time has not changed. It's broken, fragmented. Maybe bits of timeline are spliced badly. He's more confused than he should be. And he says the same thing.
That's different.
He says the same thing, that it's splintered. He also says that he is but a stitch in the wound. So I think that's very important as well, that reference. So yes, I think he's getting Picard's help to fix something that he's capable of fixing. So
I just think it's a shame because they explicitly had Picard say this is our prime timeline. They shouldn't have said that. It would have added to the mystery of, well, what is it then? Shouldn't have closed. Although, as you said earlier today, he could just be wrong. He's not, all-knowing. And people also saying about how Guinan talked to Enterprise D designers and put the bar there, but as someone else pointed out, Guinan never met Tasha Yar, so she wasn't there in season 1. Confirmed, you can't have both. It's interesting.
The Fed doc throws in $10 Australian. Just a thought, gents, but was anyone else getting the sort of StarCraft 1 Kerrigan Queen of Blades vibe from the Borg Queen performance and the general manner in which she spoke? No, because I don't know what any of that is.
I'm sorry, I googled it. Very similar look, but I don't know. I'm sorry. But good look, yeah.
Casual Trekker, $5. The address to the bar is 10 Forward Avenue. What's the actual name of the bar in the series? It's just there's no name on this, just number 10. So
yeah, it's just bar 10 on Forward Avenue. It's a pun.
And there's a cool little Easter egg here. On back of Guinan's car, it's S02 E01, which is the first appearance of Guinan in TNG season 2, episode 1. So
nice. So they go in, and I was disappointed the fact they were there, but I assumed it would be somebody else in the same location. So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. So instantly when I'm Brandy, I'm like, oh dear. And then a lady walks out who is not Guinan, steps out. Now, the way that Picard looks like, his face to me does not say, you are Whoopi Goldberg, I'm just looking at you through a lens of this is a TV show. He's saying, Guinan? As if your face is different. But because you're in your bar with your booze, you look about right in terms of ethnicity and vibe. But I don't think he's like, oh my god, you're like a young Whoopi Goldberg. No, like, it's a different person looking different. Like, there wasn't that. There was a slight disconnect deliberately, I feel like, because they've shown Whoopi Goldberg, which means that is what Guinan looks like. Honestly, if I was them, I would have had this lady play both Guinans. If they were going to do that, because then the series just has this lady as Guinan. Then they could have had the no aging, because having Whoopi and her is like, well, which one's the canon look of Guinan? Because she didn't. This is after we saw her in 1800, so she. Unless it's like the Discovery Enterprise. It looked like the Connie, facelift, back to the Connie. So Guinan looked like Guinan, became this lady, Guinan again. I don't believe it for a second. So I wish they either mentioned you look different, or... I mean, I guess you have plastic surgery, but...
Well, some people had said if you're going to be on Earth that long, now with surveillance cameras in every airport, every major city, you couldn't live in immortal life on Earth, because you would be recognized, facial recognition software, identity. So they assumed that she's altered her look somehow. But then say that. Have a line of dialogue that says, you don't look quite right.
Guinan, but you don't look like Guinan. I met you 200 years ago. I like that a lot, although I would think that she's an Elorian with tech. She would just have a little device in her pocket that stops her from being detected by anything. Like, that'd be the easiest way of doing it.
That's what I suggested as a counter to that.
Yeah, simple 21st century tech. Although she'd have to then go off-world to get it after they invented that tech. But it's very strange to have this lady, because she's obviously not trying to be Whoopi Goldberg in any way. She's trying to be the angry, I'm pissed at the Earth. But that's so unlike any Guinan we've ever seen that it does feel very distracting. And for me, all of these scenes, I can't connect with what I'm seeing because it's not Guinan playing Guinan, or even being like Guinan. And even Picard's connection with her, it's just...
Captain Chili Bean, it should have been another Elorian. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That
would have been so much better. I love how he says, you're more of a listener, an Elorian. And she pulls a gun on him. It's like, shit.
Yeah, like, if it was Whoopi, de-aged, defaked, would have been perfect.
Yes.
I honestly thought it would be either a different lady called Guinan or just a different lady, because I took over from the bar of my friend who was like another Elorian, maybe even her mother. She mentioned her mother in the other episode. But it's odd then, because are you saying they do have the same face but don't? Is this just... I get that, yes, de-aging and de-weighting, because you have to do that. like they did with Brent Spiner as well, you know, that's very expensive, so it's not worth their production budget. But they hung a lantern on why she was older. They're not even going to mention that she looks completely different. Just seems odd to me. And,
yeah.
And I don't really buy that Guinan can age up and down at will. Because
no, I don't either.
Aging down is radically different to aging up.
Well, they said in the first one, they age slowly, and she goes, yes, but we can change that if we want to. So you can increase how you age, but you can't go backwards. That doesn't make sense.
Otherwise, your face is just otherwise you're a changeling. Because it's just I don't age, so I can make myself age faster if I want to, but then why would you change? But now I just wish, you know, either hire someone that really feels like Whoopi Goldberg and inhabits that performance, or say, You're not the guy I know. Well, I change my face every 100 years just so I don't get caught. See, that would have been an easy way of saying it. Because I can imagine maybe, you know, I mean, reference this to someone else that, you know, they made Sisko look like a Klingon perfectly because he fooled other Klingons. So why can't they go and now it's a different face? I don't know. It's just yeah. Wasn't connecting with her, so I hope she's not in very much. And it's not her fault, just wrong casting, wrong script. In my opinion.
I think she's going to be important because he asked her not to leave the planet. I think they're going to need her at some point coming up. So, anyway, Matt Boardman throws in $10 and says, "I'm really hoping that this is one of those things where when we get the end of the season, the things that are different will be explained and have purpose beyond just changing for change's sake." We all hope that. It's kind of like watching Discovery. We hope that this will happen. We hope that this will happen, and it never does. So, Sergeant Roadkill throws in £5. Well, thank you so much. So I am sure someone else will say it, but if they have come from the Confederation future, did Time Zero happen? Okay, the divergent point, they've already established they're at April 12th, 2024. The convergent point, the thing that changes the timeline, doesn't happen until the 15th. They're 3 days away from a change. So as of right now, this timeline should be leading to TNG. Therefore, Time Zero did happen. We already saw that Spock and Kirk had come back because of the punk on the bus grabbing his neck. So yes, the Federation does exist, even though Terry Showrunner says it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, because they obviously failed. The reason she doesn't remember is because they failed to fix timeline. So they have to go back a second time, which then erases their first time, because apparently that's how that time travel works. And they try again a second time.
If they fail on the 15th, I would be perfectly acceptable of that, yes.
Because as soon as they succeed and reset the timeline, Guinan remembers. She should already remember, because that's not how time travel works in the Trekyards alternate universe at that point. But next scene, though, we get Raffi being pissed. That's a strong summary.
That's hilarious. I hate everything, and you hide it so well.
Yeah, the quips are good. Although she's certainly not a Starfleet officer in these scenes. She's kind of reverting a bit to Season 1 Raffi. It's more understandable, but I kind of wish she showed a bit more of the tact of a Starfleet commander who's not exactly young, etc.
It's kind of a role reversal here. You can see this in Voyager. Seven being the one at the desk saying, "You're the cops, aren't you?" And Janeway being like, "Yeah,
interesting.
Space."
That's interesting.
It was very much a role reversal in this case.
Because you'd think the Starfleet officer would tell the Borgified person. That's interesting, yeah. They didn't really harp on or develop much of the Seven having emotions thing, although you could certainly tell it was there in subtext. But I do appreciate that this police officer kept her bloody cool, because this lady is, you know, "Can I see your papers, ma'am?" Oh, you haven't gotten it, you know what I mean? Like, not because she's ethnic, or just because that's, you know, you're pissing this person off and you're being, you know, mean to a police officer unnecessarily. So I kind of like to, stop and then they go through the conversation. Yeah. But, you know, all good references, whatever. And then that nice man who has a Lay's chips, which is Walker's, which really Lay's now canon in Star Trek. Deary me. I loved his little performance. One little moment with this guy I thought was really good. Just super natural.
Yep.
I don't know why I just liked him. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives them the advice to go to the, whatever.
Are you guys not from here or something? Yeah.
King of Ice Huge puts in $2. Guinan is a Time Lord. Maybe she's got regeneration powers. There you go.
Yeah, the Elorians aren't magic though. They're just slow aging. That's always the thing. It's always a problem with retconning. Oh, and Taylor T says he missed a super chat.
Did I?
Which you did.
Sorry,
$20. Yes, thank you. See, let us know, because we do want to do them all.
All right, Taylor T, $20. Just joined. Did this episode go by fast for you guys? Don't know if it was short or if it just enjoyed it so much it flew by. You think it's possible that Orla Brady Laris is Laris the cat from T.O.? Well, Isis the cat from Assignment Earth. Yeah, I thought that exact same thing, and I mentioned it last night on my live. First of all, it did go fast for me this episode the first time I watched it. Secondly, yes, I think Laris might be a chameleon of sorts, because we saw the cat in Gary Seven's cat who became a lady sitting on the couch. Could be that she just projected an image that would put Picard at ease. Who knows? Why not Romulan ears then? Oh, because she's out in public, I guess. So
well, people wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I'll get there, because that's right. Obviously, the last frame. So I'll save my critique for the last frame.
Okay.
And no, for me, it didn't fly by because the Guinan stuff wasn't. I was so taken by how not Guinan it felt, so I was like disconnected from those a bit. I didn't really enjoy these immigration scenes, so you know.
Yeah, and I think you're not supposed to enjoy them, but
well, fair. But I am watching TV
make you feel
to
uncomfortable,
be entertained. So you know.
Matt Boardman, $10. A little bit of trivia. The interior and exterior of the police station were filmed at the LA Center Studio, where we had our offices during the brief stint of in-house team on Discovery. That's cool, man.
Damn.
Yeah, let me get this.
Although, hold on.
Rios gets himself tased.
Where is that? Oh yeah, and Mr. Trent says, too bad they could not use their tricorder track race backstation chips. Yes, they should have been able to. Or any of his anything. I mean, he's all that tech.
Kit 10K throws in $20. Had a thought. Since Guinan can tell when the timeline is off, can certain changes in it affect the appearance of her people? You know, I'm grasping at straws, but my brain always tries to make up sense.
Yes, no, Enterprise did nothing.
Yeah, I totally don't think that's a thing.
Barely changed her hat color.
Nice chance.
So yeah,
I wish she would have been wearing a hat. Actually, that would have been funny.
That would have been, or like a baseball hat that was like bright purple. Like that would have been a nice way of kind of. So yeah, the guard comes in, tasers Rios. It's a bit mean, obviously.
2 more super chats, dude.
Okay.
Hold on. Turd Ferguson, $5. Why would an evil Kirk save the whales? Exactly. Because Earth's still in danger. You need to protect the planet.
Well, he would. He would kill the whale probe. Like they wouldn't.
Or help Gary 7. He wouldn't help Gary 7. In order for Buspunk to exist, Federation Kirk has to exist. Exactly. Stephen W. Fathry, $5. After the Kelvin movies, they don't seem to mind casting new actors. Arguably, that started with Savick, but it was very common now with Disco Strange Worlds and Picard. Yeah, but you've already had Guinan. You've already had Whoopi Goldberg in the show.
And her audio was in the scene.
Yeah.
So they're saying they're both Guinan. Like I said, if that had been Guinan in the first episode with a hat and a look, I'd have been like, cool. Honestly, that I'd have preferred, because then it would have been consistent. Then it would have aged. They don't mention anything about she looks different. Just hope it'd be a new actress, because although Whoopi's fine, she looks fine. Just that would have been a way of keeping it all consistent.
Captain Chili Bina throws in $10.
Dang.
And says, while ICE stuff seemed realistic to me as a former public defender in the States, there should have been at least one guard that was nice or trying to help Rios, like the couple in Area 51 DS9 episode. Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah. But then the lady, I guess she's also in a prison cell, I guess, just a different one, even though she kind of walks up to him from nowhere. But she is.
Well, he's in the cell. People don't have papers. And she's a registered. They checked her, so it's a different cell.
But the way she walks up, it's like, didn't you notice her earlier? It's a small thing. I was wondering if she's in a cell or not. But again, their chemistry is great. It's nice. They have a good vibe, and it's COVID safe through bars. That's what I thought while watching it. But then we got back to the bar. Hey, we have the ever evolving conversation of Picard not want to tell her everything, because it starts off with, I'm just here to help you, I'm clearly off world, then I'll evolve into things later. But I do appreciate, the dog is the key, and I guess it now retcons they have a mutual interest in bulldogs, part of why they bonded. Because no, it's not Picard's dog, and nothing to do with Picard's dog, because he just likes bulldogs, clearly.
I think it's actually Patrick Stewart's real life dog, though, that one.
Whichever.
But I've seen pictures, but could be wrong. But yeah, this is where he also repeats the words back to her. It's not time, it's you. And you hear the echo, and she gets the sickness that apparently she's told him about.
Yes.
Um,
Which is nice. Like it's fair. Although she does have a whole crying, emotional scene about the Earth being shit. First, before that.
and she almost says, "I'm not the Watcher this time." I'm not the, and then she gets interrupted by the guy coming to pick up the dog.
Because she knows she isn't the Watcher. Also, she knows of them, but she probably knows they're more danger than they're worth, relatively speaking. But yeah, it's heavy-handed. It's negative. It came across a bit odd to me that she was so anti-Earth, given that she was around playing dress up in the 1800s when there was more racism and slavery, and she was fine then. Like, she has a certain extraterrestrial context. I guess 200 years really beat her down, but I never for once thought she'd stay on Earth for all those years. It seems odd. I mean, the whole scene seems odd, but like we said, there's an alternate reality where the Confederation, it's their timeline. So maybe this is Guinan from that timeline. She's totally different universe, totally different life. Maybe it's a different universe. So who knows?
Grant McGregor throws in $20. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And guys, that is so much. Those numbers are so appreciated. We see those, and it's like, yeah, thank you, amazing.
Yes. Need to run with Time Arrow and yesterday's Enterprise into account. Guinan has sensed altered time at this point of the cause. The event hasn't happened yet, but Janeway has said effect can happen before the cause. Yes.
Which is very, very important in time travel. That's why Star Trek 6, Star Trek 4 is still happening, has still happened because it's still the effect, the cause for an effect that hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
And it's true. But she's sensing, even though time hasn't changed, she's seeing him. His body is from an alternate universe, an alternate time, a wrong time, which also implies time is one linear thing, which is why the time cop should be standing instead. They should at some
different quantum signature. Maybe that's what they detect.
Yes.
235 people watching, 138 likes. Guys, hit that like button. We're still at 150, but I want to get to 180 now. So hit that like button.
I wonder if it's any time related. What if it's just time travel makes them sick as well?
Could be. Could be.
We live long, so therefore time affects us differently.
Then we get the breaking into a police car scene. Find out she has a phaser. She vaporizes the window, which gives everybody their beam. Everybody wanted a phaser beam from this thing, so you got it here.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and so you can do that. You can start the car, but you couldn't put the window. Oh, I could. This is more fun. Wow, very Starfleet-like to whip out a phaser and have more fun, and have the risk of somebody seeing. She's not a good Starfleet officer.
I think this was my favourite them scene though.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Because it is just funny. You brought a phaser? I have no idea where this came from. That's great. Really good acting.
I would say.
No, it's really fun. It's a good level of fun, and I really wish they'd said that. I wish Raffi had said, because instantly Seven, when they leave the park, the drive, she does put into reverse. You wouldn't know that necessarily without practice. I wish it said, Lieutenant Paris never taught me. I learned 3 lessons from Paris. Like, I got the sense that he probably gave some people like 7 driving lessons just for the lols. I mean, they're on the holiday, like they're in space a lot. So I imagine she got driving lessons from Paris at some point just for the sake of it. We know he loves cars, etc. So I kind of took that from it. But I thought this was fun and cute, and surprised no one really caught them. The lax security of a police station is a bit crap. But you know, oh well.
We're back on the La Serena. Well, for a second. They're communicating with Girardi, saying that we got to find Rios. What, he's not with you? No, he's in a detention center. Oh, great. Things are going well then.
Yeah.
But the system's down for self-repair. So she needs time to fix it before she can beam them.
And Nathan says briefly, the way the phaser removed the window reminds him of how Valeris removed the cooking pot on Star Trek 6. Yes, it was a really good effect. That's a really great callback, actually.
But they speed out of there. Wait! Nobody's gonna notice that. Well, you want it out? We're out. That's so 7. Travis Lashin puts in $10 Australian, so thank you so much. Haven't watched a single episode of Picard, but love watching these breakdowns. Great work, guys. Well, thank you very much, Travis.
But do go watch. Do go watch it as well. I was interested by the balance here, and I'm really quite amazed actually, because we saw the end of season 1 of Picard when they suddenly were holding hands, and it was literally improv of the cast and crew. They didn't think of the repercussions, wasn't written, wasn't planned, whatever. And so we're now 4 in, and they already established it didn't work out because of they basically just worked in places, but they haven't actively pursued the romance subplot in an active way so far. Mm-hmm. They're allowing them to be on screen together, actually have time together to build a natural chemistry, which was obviously not in season 1 because they never scenes together really. And so I like a lot actually the fact that Jurati says you guys need some couples counselling is what she's trying to say. They cut her off because it's the writers telling us we know we really skipped to this, so we're going to do it properly. We're going to reset, do it properly, build up naturally. I thought that was them being very good, because if they'd said you guys need couple counselling, oh Jurati, we don't, I thought the way they handled it is very mature for what they were doing, because it's such a small part, but you can tell it's growing. So all credit to them for trying to really fix. I don't know if you noticed that moment, but I thought it was
I did.
Yeah, I want to call them out for that because we were all worried, and they've done good so far.
And the funny thing, I'm just noticing, I got a shot of the car, the police vehicle from the front, and on the push bar it says Satina. It's like Serena, but one letter's different. Not a big deal, but anyway.
Cool.
Kit 10K throws in $20. Gotta wonder how many time traveling events maybe go on here. Cisco and Bashir are there. Well, they're there 4 months later. This is in April. Cisco and Bashir don't show up until September of the same year, just for the record.
Although according to Picard time travel logic, they're never going to show up, ever.
Yeah. The Time Cops, now Rick and Morty, and wait, where the hell am I going with this? Great, now but my brain hurts. And Gibbs throws in $20. What if Guinan never met Picard? With Picard removed from his timeline, he may never have gone back to meet her the first time. Thoughts? Well, this is his timeline. This is his... He makes a point of saying this is an alternate reality. This is their reality. Time's been changed. He says that in the future. So maybe that's why. But that still doesn't explain the punk having Spock having nerve pinched him. So
yeah, we'll get into that at the end maybe. But that doesn't quite work. I mean, Mirror Evil Picard probably didn't know Guinan of Whoopi Goldberg Guinan. But then Q put our Picard into that guy's body and said, go. So we never got to see that guy. And probably dead. I mean, Elorians might have been killed by the Borg. All of time is different, so...
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still great shots of this Borg Queen. I don't get tired of these sort of long shots of the makeup and the green. It's an effect shot every single time. Which it really should not at this point, but it's good.
General Grievous, $2. One would think a tricorder could unlock a car door.
It could. They say it.
She said I could have done that, but this is more fun.
Yeah.
So, yes.
But what did you think there about then Jurati literally saying, Borg Queen, going to work with you to fix a ship? Because you can think faster than I can type. Because that's probably one of the biggest moments of the episode in terms of like, pushing this forward.
I thought it was great. There's just... I don't think this is where she says a trade. What do I get out of it?
No, not yet. It's just, can you help? How can I help?
No, I think it's fine.
Well, she says no. She says, I need someone. I need help. Yeah, yes. It's good. It's clever. So back to giving stuff away. Picard's giving a bit more information now. It's in the future. Guinan is saying, "You won't even tell me your goddamn name." He's like, "Well, it'll change the future." Although
you'll tell me all about this hell on earth thing, but you can't even tell me your name. He's like, I don't want to compromise your path. So
I also want to point out that it doesn't matter what they do here, because as soon as they fix a timeline, they never went back in time. Again, according to Picard logic, as soon as they fix a timeline, they have no longer gone back in time, which means this Guinan will not remember what happened. So as soon as they fix a timeline, there was no time travel to meet Guinan. So he really could have just told her everything. Now, according to normal Star Trek logic, this is an event that happens, and therefore it happens. But according to Picard logic, doesn't matter. Nothing here, literally nothing here means anything until you fix the moment. Then they should wake up on the Stargazer, re-explode. Picard takes him out, Q takes him out again. It's a whole thing.
Well, she tells him here that she's no watcher. And she
says that a lot. Says that a lot.
Talks about humans and how they talk about change, and she's like, change is great if you're somebody that looks like you, so a white person. You can wait for the change, but SVS Guru 2000, member for 5 months, the rank of commander.
Thank
Thank you very much for your service. Funny that the other car door was already open. Well, I assume that Girardi Raffi just hit the unlock button.
I don't know about you, but UK cards, if you open the main card door, it can do all 4.
You can, yeah. You can program it. Just open one or open all of them.
I mean,
but it's a police card. I don't think they would all unlock. But anyway.
Yeah, but you might want efficiency of quick, get our team into the car.
It's not neither here nor there.
No.
But here we see the 21st Street mission from Guardian of Forever.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The 21st Street mission is right across from 10 Forward. So I guess 10 Forward is at the corner of 21st Street and Forward Street. Anyway, but yeah, it's a 21st Street mission donation center there.
So that was LA as well. I didn't realize that for Guardian was LA.
Yeah. And later, when they're getting in the car, you can see the 21st Street mission sign on the building.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Boy, real subtle. I didn't connect that. Oh, cool.
Yep. But she talks about racism and how it just swaps clothes. And yeah, the cost of change is way too high, kind of thing. There's a whole discussion here. But
yeah.
Then we get Rios and Teresa, and talking about whether you're a hero or crazy.
Yeah. it's just more good story character. It's sort of padding. It's sort of character padding.
She's going to come in important later too. I think she's going to have to help them in some way.
Oh yeah. Well, she's feel like Sarah Silverman. She's like one of their allies that's already been pre-convinced. Plus, she thinks he's hot, so she'll work with him.
Yeah. Crazy. And the cop asks, "So, do you want to give me your proof of, your proof of identity?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, Captain from 2400." And da-da-da. And this, I love the whole thing of the audience analog of, this ruffled admiral who's now in the body of a flesh and blood robot, and I don't even understand it. Nobody can explain it to me. I thought that was hilarious.
And Nathan does point out, interestingly, that in Yes's Enterprise, Guinan didn't have both sets of memories. She only had a feeling, which once again confirms it's a full alternate universe and not a time travel thing. Because it isn't. It's an alternate universe completely. Picard was wrong.
Yeah.
It's a fully alternate universe where none of those things happen because it's just alternate. Kind of like the Kelvin timeline, just the the Confederation timeline. There you go. Was never prime, is never going to be prime. And then QSO.
Nathan Head says, "I have the face of a Ferengi." Do you? Oh, sorry. Hunter PDX throws in $5. Invoking Janeway's diatribe about being trapped in godforsaken time travel paradoxes seems appropriate here. Yes. The future is the past is the future.
It's not even complicated if Picard hadn't have said this is our one timeline, because it's not. He's wrong. It's an alternate universe. Then it's easy. It's just they made it complicated by putting themselves in a box that doesn't connect. Seeing this scene, though, because it's a fantastic set of jokes, I'm shocked this isn't in the trailer. Rio's saying, "And I'm a captain." I guess I can't say the Stargazer, but edit it in a way that makes it... this is a fun moment. I'm surprised it's not in a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a fun moment here where, what does yellow mean? Go faster. Wait, red means stop. Red means stop. That was hilarious. Because red, that's the joke. Yellow light means go faster.
Yeah. I would say these scenes are okay. It's a relatively dull car chase without really any sort of stuff. Either it needed Raffi using the tricorder to make stuff happen, or a phaser to do stuff. It's extremely dull. It's just Seven going, "I'm driving," and Raffi going, "Be better." And it's like, it's like if Kirk and Spock had a car chase, it would be just as bad.
Yeah.
But, so, okay.
Dry Tort puts in $5, so thank you so much. It says, "I bought a Samsung Z Flip because I got Star Trek vibes from it. Love how it became canon as 25th century tricorder. Only for the Confederation, not the Federation. This is a Confederation tricorder, guys." So.
Yeah, I've been tempted to get a dead one, but they don't really exist because they're so new and expensive. Yeah, you either get a full one or you don't get a full one. But certainly, people are 3D printing or trying to design the casing. I certainly would. I hope we see a prime version with all blinkies and being silver, because I think it could be a fun design. Mm-hmm. But also, Bryce does talk about his grandchild will be half Mexican and ice targeting. I'm really sorry. But hopefully
That sucks,
things
dude.
get
That sucks.
better. It's hard as non-racist people to kind of think about that stuff. It's like, how can you be such a way?
We get Rios on the bus. They make a point of saying that he's going to a sanctuary district near the border.
Mm-hmm.
So they do say that. So they do mention sanctuary district again.
Yep. And then back to the Queen, the bargaining scene, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Poetry, damn fool.
Yeah.
Not literal.
And the whole, what do I get out of this? Well, we'll share catastrophic stories sad stories between catastrophic events. Say, okay, well, fine. That's the agreement. Because the Borg Queen's lonely, she doesn't have the voices in her head. She needs somebody to talk to. So
it's a pretty radical thing, but yeah, she can't deal with silence. That's really
she's
interesting.
testing Girardi to here because she says, "Convince me." Yes. She's already said that Girardi's impressed her, so she's looking for like a protege or like another Borg Queen kind of feel, I think. So
yeah, there's so many ways that he'd take it, but yeah, pretty interesting. And I do buy it, the Borg Queen knocking out of the park. It's definitely a weird Borg Queen, but considering we've never seen a Borg Queen out of the element as much as this,
she's on her own. She's by herself.
Strapped to ropes in an alien spacecraft on an alternate Earth without any drones, out of her element. Like this is the. I mean, it's not the same alien, so it's not the exact same Queen, but it's the Borg Queen personality without any of the Borg around it. Pure personality of a Queen. That's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Kit 10K, $10. Janeway always said temporal mechanics gave her a headache. If she saw what was going on in this show at this point, she'd probably blow your head off to make the pain stop. Migraine. Wow. Maybe she's part of Lorian. That's why she always gets a headache when she starts talking about quantum or temporal mechanics. Anyway, so the Borg Queen fixes the transporter. Jesus Christ. And Girardi's like, hey, yeah, I just went over and we have no time now. Just beam us. And it's like
poor Girardi, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
The whole do something counterintuitive. Hit the brakes. The transporter still haven't figured out moving targets yet. So they slam on the brakes, and I love when the cop's coming up to the car and you see the transporter effect in the car. That's a butterfly a little bit, but hey, it's an unexplained incident. So
they're all really high on those future drugs that they had in the
just the exhaust fumes from the car chase.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought this was great. I was slightly concerned they was going to beam them out and feel very easy. Feel like the J.J. Abrams beaming scene where it's both super easy and super hard to beam while moving, silly. But the stopping was great. That was because we kind of associate beaming as a static thing. It's pretty rare to beam while in motion, so I thought that was lovely and a very smart way to end a scene. And kind of it actually adds more tension I thought that was actually a nice touch.
Yeah. George Mangrum, $10. Do you think that the cops got body cam video of Seven and Raffi beaming out of the car? Yep. Could be huge butterfly. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
And that actually might be why the temporal Braxton man person to Kane, because as soon as he sees that, he's like, there's people beaming. That's proof. Because maybe he has something. Because he would be out of temporal. He would still be timeline because he's out of temporal phase. He would be able to detect that stuff. So he's got his tricorder. He can scan the database for temporal tech. He says, wait, that's 7 of 9. I worked with her in my past, both of our pasts. Like, that could be the catalyst. And then maybe when she finds 7, Picard's here too. Wait, the Picard? No, I met before. Boom, you got a story. But you're right, body cam should absolutely be a thing.
Yeah. So then they see the bus is coming quick, and they got to get Rios out without any butterflies, so no killing anybody, no... Oh, man.
I'm wondering how they're going to do it.
Tough situation. Well, there are 2 women on the side of the road. I'm sure something's going to be like hitchhike or something. I don't know.
I thought they were just going to phaser the tires, honestly. But I'd do, but I'm not a Australian Starfleet officer.
Grant McGregor, $10 to clarify yesterday's Enterprise Guinan knew the effect of time change from the moment of cause of an Enterprise C wormhole. Picard met a Guinan before the moment they erased Time Zero. I wish they wrote it better.
But also, you don't erase Time Zero. It still happened because they still travel back in time. You don't erase it if it's in the
unless
same
they don't fix the events of the 15th, and so the Confederation is the only future.
But then there's also no temporal Cold War. Enterprises.
I know. We're not going to get into the semantics of it. Just trying to keep it simple for this.
Yes.
We have videos coming up.
Yes, we do.
Guru 2000 puts in €5. Do you think the time cops went back to the 80s to fix Scotty giving the formula for transparent aluminum to the plexiglass guy? No, that was a predestination paradox. That was supposed to happen.
Which
how do we know he didn't invent the bloody thing?
Well, the thing is, if it wasn't predestination, that means that as soon as Picard timeline stuff is true, then they're no longer in the past, which means they didn't invent that metal, which means they also didn't invent... You know what I mean? If you have predestination paradox that have to happen, and then you suddenly say time travel erases everything, those things didn't happen, Earth's even less advanced. It doesn't work, because it was always meant to happen.
So here we get Girardi reneging on her. She says, I've limited your access again, and she walks away to leave the Borg Queen by herself. And I think that's going to come into play later. They're going to need the Borg Queen, probably to slingshot or do another time travel thing or something.
No.
And the Queen's going to be like, you reneged on your... But the only way I'll agree is if you actually connect to my consciousness.
Give me a kiss.
No, connect to my consciousness and become like a little collective. And that's what's going to get Girardi Borgified, is what I think.
I thought this was great. This was such a fun, oh really moment. And another little turn on the Girardi character of deepening that, where season 2 writing, at least sporadically, is far superior. I honestly think that the Queen is going to look at this and say, ooh, I'm impressed by you. Humans are known to be all honourable, and you betrayed me. I'm more impressed. Only a brave soul would betray, the entity of the Borg Queen that is everything. But let me just briefly finish off the poll. 246 votes, which is phenomenal. The Bus Punk, which was a while ago now. What do you think? 50% loved it, 21% liked it, 19% was okay, and 10%, 24.6 people have no soul and didn't like it. But only 24, it's pretty good.
Shannon Nash throws in $5. Wait, if Duquesne is in this, is he the 26th century Star Corps or Starfleet? Bum, bum, bum. No, he'll be temporal investigations. Temporal cops.
Because his ship's in temporal shielding.
It's shielded.
They're not affected by timeline changes. Unless it's an alternate universe, which it is. Right, what's the next poll? Let's have a think.
269 people here. 169 likes. I think we can easily hit 200 likes. Maybe even 220. So please hit that like button if you haven't already. We got 2 new members, so we did hit our quota for that. But if anybody else wants to check that join button and see if they want to join the channel, we'd really appreciate that as well. It's very important analytics, so if you can, please do. Christopher Peterson throws in $10 and says, first episode of New Trek I've rewatched. Really enjoyed this one. Oh, okay. Good. I think it's the least good out of the 4 from this season, but I did enjoy it. I will say that. People think I didn't enjoy it, but I did. There's just a few things that kind of are distracting.
Yeah, they just made a few choices that I wouldn't have made.
Yeah.
And you see the political stuff seep in more. It's harder to have dark political themes in Star Trek in modern day as it should be. So I'll send the poll, Stuart.
Let's see. The new poll says, "What did you think of episode 4?" Least good, missing an A, of the 4, best of the 4, or second best. So there you go.
Skipping third because why not?
Yeah.
I want more people to vote in the actual poll.
Kit 10K puts in $10. Hey Stuart, don't forget give Empress Pug her daily belly rub. Jack is lying next to me wanting one for herself. Oh yeah, she'll get that later when we're watching TV. Don't worry.
I do it every night.
Yeah, Sylvia gives her one every night.
So then you have Gunn's leaving. You can't quite convince her to stay on the planet. Then you have the moment is all or nothing. So he says, "My name is Jean-Luc Picard," and her face is certainly recognition. Not, oh my god, recognition, but it could easily be, you did tell me your name, that's important. Or,
yes.
Because Duquesne's here and there's other time things, and because she does know him from the past, oh, I recognise that name from Time's Arrow, even if I don't remember your face, because it's been 100, 200 years, I recognise the name, and it all changes. Because why would the name... Because she goes from being, I leave, to I'm fully helping. I think
it's that trust issue, because earlier she says, you can tell me all this, but you can't tell me your name. And to the point now, he's so desperate for her help, he says, my name is Jean-Luc Picard. And then he goes on to say, 400 years from now, you will be one of my oldest and dearest friends. I think all of that in combination, sure, she might get a little resonating of the name meaning something if she hasn't met him before yet. But future time-wise, she might recognize something. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I got. Not that she, John, yeah, of course now I know who you are. Oh yeah,
no, it's
dude.
it's very pull your meaning from it, but she does instantly tell him everything. There's a watcher, it's a supervisor, and she knows things, and I didn't even clock that. I thought it was just a phrase, but you obviously clocked it a whole different way.
Yeah. Well, she does say Picard, huh? Shit, get in. It's like the name's important, so maybe she's heard it from the watcher as well. Perhaps, because she's got a very tenuous relationship with the Watcher, as we find out in a second. But
that's probably even stretching it, yeah.
But yeah, this whole thing, and this is important here. You're looking for a supervisor, otherwise known as a Watcher. Now, Gary 7 in Assignment Earth was a Class 1 supervisor. That was his designation, so that's important. And they say they're peppered throughout the galaxy, assigned to protect the destiny of certain individuals. I didn't like that, because I thought Gary 7 was there as more of a monitor of Earth as a whole, but I think certain names like Janeway, Kirk, Picard, everybody who violates the temporal prime directive multiple times might be on their radar. But anyway, yeah, so we get the Gary 7 re-spiel of what they do, essentially. They're guardian angels.
Which you don't know the context of yet, and I certainly didn't factor in as being the Gary 7 people, but in the second context it's so clear.
I got it the first time when she said this description. I'm like, hell yeah, supervisor. That brings. I looked it up real quick, and yeah, he's a Class 1 supervisor.
See, whereas I thought, thank F it is Duquesne, time agent. There are a few time agents.
Yes.
They call themselves they don't want to tell you they're from the future, so they just say, look at my fancy tech, I'm an alien.
Well,
I'm here to be a guardian angel. Like,
fair,
both would work 100%.
To be fair, the first time she said you're looking for a supervisor, I thought she meant like at the police department.
Yeah, see?
She knows this guy named Duquesne. But then when she went on to explain that they're scattered throughout the galaxy, then I'm like, wait a minute, supervisor. The description that she gives is pretty much what Gary 7 said, more or less. So then I looked it up, and it's like, then I got excited because disappointed Duquesne isn't the one. But Duquesne can still be here. He can still make an appearance, and I would love that. So yeah, I did get it the first time.
It's much better on a second watch for these bits. Like the ending starts to ramp up. As soon as Guinan gets less anti-present, it kicks back into gear a bit. But that's with all these things. As the story re-kicks into gear, it gets more interesting because they're not having to just sort of spin the wheels as much.
Casual Trekker though, $10. Think season 2 is going to end with Agnes going off the Delta Quadrant, become the Borg Queen. In PTL, whatever that is, and they'll have to get her back in season 3, or will the Borg stuff be wrapped up by season end? I think it'll be wrapped up by season end, honestly. I don't think season 3 is going to focus on the Borg at all.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll choose to be the Borg Queen. I think she'll sacrifice herself to let the crew go, and you'll see the Borg Queen nanoprobe her. She'll be assimilated. That she's no longer Agnes. She's then just a Borg. But then they use her brain because she knows how to create synthetics, which is what Data is. So therefore, in submitting her, will change what the Borg are. In theory, they finally got that ability. So that could be the leap. And they've already killed Elnor, so killed Jurati as well.
Yeah. And Nathan Head says in the novels, Gary 7's secretary, I forgot her name. Her name was Roberta Lincoln. Works with Rain Robinson. There you go, Sarah Silverman for the win. But. Let's see. Grant McGregor, $5.
Thank
you. Why call them Watchers? The metal of Time should have just called them Supervisor and let the audience get excited. No. Yeah, I can see a general colloquialism for them being all scattered throughout the galaxy as their Watchers. They're keeping an eye on things. That's fine.
Well, it's
just like Elorians are listeners.
Well, it's not their phrase. It's the phrase that's come.
Yes.
We don't interfere. We watch and stop things from happening. But for most people, it appears to just watch. But then they go to this park, and it's a very weird dynamic because now she's positive to Picard, and he's like, Oh, that doesn't sound very good. Like, it's very, they're both in a different element. You know, it's bright, it's open. She's like, yeah, this Watcher lady, she's gonna kick your ass, and her aim's great, which is a wonderful, like, wait, what happened in the past?
She'll eat your eyelids off. That's nice.
It's pretty, yeah. Although then she hands him back his comm badge, which he didn't notice he lost, which is a bit of a weird one, but he is a 80-something-year-old man. And then all of a sudden, the Watcher shows up, and it's a little girl.
But he asks right away, is this the Watcher? And she says no. So
Yes, and it also has a smartphone. I wonder if that's actually a real smartphone, because that's also a bit weird to have, like, you shouldn't be having a real Samsung, or, you know, it shouldn't be iPhone 12s in the Star Trek universe. It's not, you know.
Kit 10K throws in $10.
Thank you.
In regards to Gary 7's supervisor role, there may be different types of supervisors. Gary 7 may be assigned to watch over all of Earth, while there may be others who watch over individual people. Just a thought. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. He came because 2 of them were missing. Turns out they got killed in a car accident. So he had kind of had to assume the responsibilities of... So him being a Class 1 means I think he has a broader scope.
Yes.
He came to investigate what they were doing.
Yeah.
And find out they were dead, so he had to finish their mission. That was kind of the
Supervisor of the supervisors is the vibe, because he has that sort of real
He's the one that
authority.
watches the Watchers.
There you go. He does have that real authority feel. And as I did notice, her dress. Butterflies again.
Yes.
I mean, you can't get more butterfly. I'm guessing when Q changed the timeline, if it is Q, he added that as a clue that Picard's just not seeing. Because I mean, you can't just... Time travel does not make butterflies everywhere. So I'm assuming the reveal will be this is a tapestry level fake universe, which explains why Guinan is not really Guinan. It doesn't look like Guinan because it's just a tapestry. It's just an all good thing. It's a pocket universe made by Q, and now he's in the universe. He has no those powers because he XYZ. So I'm assuming we're gonna get that reveal, which would make everything a lot better. But if they give that away, there's no tension because it's all irrelevant. It's a journey for Picard. Everything else is completely nonsensical. Like doesn't have stakes because it's not real.
Yeah.
Because it's real. Because Star Trek's real, Stuart. It's really happened. Apart from that,
it has.
It's real.
Where the technical manual came from. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, before Guinan leaves, he says, "I know you're done with listening, but don't leave Earth. You're not done with humanity yet." And I think she's going to come in important in like an episode or two. They're going to need her for something as well. So.
Well, I was kind of assuming that she was going to call somebody, you know, bleep, hope an X1 communicator and say, "Hey, Jack Beck, Book Doch," and she's calling a Klingon cab or something.
Klingon now?
Yeah, calling Klingon, yeah, because they don't care about the local vicinity. Like she has to get off world somehow. I wanted to see. She's not going to just go and drive to a, you know, it would be fun to see her in a DeLorean shuttle that she's got stashed since the 1800s.
Maybe she'll take the Galactic Star Cruiser at Disney. That's how. Yeah. Fry Minis puts in $2. Is Q going to show up in bed with Jean-Luc Picard?
Yes. So yeah, and then we get the
handoff of the.
And also,
this is stupid.
It is. I do think this is when feels again like season 1 because Patrick's clearly genuinely out of breath here. That's genuinely like that's a real scene. So there's you know Patrick's been good at being slow. Like he's hidden his age quite well, but this bit he does kind of feel like the doddery old man that he was in season 1. It's not the end of the world, but there's just a slight contextual. He's just not able to keep up as much here.
And did you notice on the side of the garbage can, there's a thing for the Europa mission that says to boldly go?
Nope, didn't. That's cool.
Yeah. And the Europa mission is going to come in important in a second.
God, yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking about that in a second. But this handoff between people is stupid. The little girl, then the guy that points, and then the guy that swings around. So we're making sure you're not followed in the space of 50 feet. That's the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever heard. I wish we were in a cut where they were leaving the park, going down an alley. So
on a plane, on a train, on an elephant.
There's some distance.
Yeah.
No. There's some distance that they've traveled.
Yeah.
This is just stupid. But anyway.
It was... I mean, I appreciate so much that this wasn't a huge element of the episode. I think a lot of us were worried this would be like, oh no, they're alien zombies and it'll be a big element. No, it's just... It's a non-element, which is great. It was pure trailer bait. Fine. But yeah, putting him 50 meters is so insignificant considering she has a tricorder, or she would do, like the equivalent of tricorder, so she would know. Which, speaking of, he does say the communication device should be off and he'd unpower, cause it, etc. So he's now out of communication, which will be important later on, I'm sure. Even though he's been out of communication for a bit. So he'll be in his own world for a bit, doing his own story. But yes, they get to turned around person. Now this is when, at this point, whoever this is does not know this is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So this appearance is not based on who he is. Because when she turns, she's surprised. So this isn't a subconscious, I know it's Picard. She doesn't know it's Picard. So this is genuinely someone who looks like Laris in this part of the timeline. It isn't a shapeshifter pretending. There's just no connection there. I guess you could argue she saw...
Guinan, when she arranged this meeting, said Picard. She said Picard, huh? Shit. And then maybe she passed that along, but we didn't get that.
And I guess maybe also she saw through the eyes of each of these each of these people she possessed.
Could be.
But then the expression is pure shock. And it's like, wait, what? I'm seeing you for the first time? It's not like I've seen you for the last 2 hours. It's clear. I
don't think her expression is shock. She's very much like stone faced. She kind of just comes up to him and like looks at him like almost like she's not.
No, disagree.
She's a pet. She's a chameleon almost. Like she's. I don't know. I didn't get a sense that she was.
No, I thought it was a turn of. What? But then professional kicks into gear, so I liked that when I saw it. And not an Irish accent, it was an American accent, which I liked. And obviously no
Romulan.
No Romulan is. And just a different, because she's a good actress, everyone likes her, so give her something different to do is fun. But the question is this going to be one of the agents or the obligatory pet? Because as soon as she touches him, they go through a vortex door, which is both not very similar and extremely similar to the old one, and I'm totally fine with it. It's a fun effect. It's a good reinvention. And does it in broad daylight, and it's just not even hiding, which is fun.
No.
And it's very abrupt, very, very abrupt.
Stephen Burnside throws in £9, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephen.
The season of Picard has at least captured enthusiasm and enjoyment far better than the highest point of Discovery season 4. Yeah. That's funny. SPS Guru 2000 throws in €2.
Thank you.
Is Q in this episode a past Q from before episode 1?
As in the last scene. Well, Q is non-temporal, which is also confusing.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we're right there.
Dry Tort puts in $5. Star Trek is real. Why don't they just watch the season finale that came out 2 years earlier in 2022?
What a stupidly wonderful, stupid joke. That's good. I like that. But I'll finish my poll, though. I asked, what do you think of episode 4? And it's a really interesting result here, Stuart. Really interesting. 71% say the least good of the 4, which matches our opinions. 23% say second best, but only 6% say best. So that's...
Those are trolls.
Well, depends on opinion. So, okay, we're all most on the same page there, guys. But that's not an indictment of the episode. It's still probably better than most of season 1 of Picard. It might be a little bit of enjoyment.
Oh, yeah, I would say absolutely.
So it's not an indictment, just you raise a bar so high, it's hard to, etc. Right, let me just do a poll about the reveal of the Watcher.
And then we'll talk about the Cuba scene, yes. Guys, hit that like button. We have 270 people watching, 189 likes. We still haven't broke that 200 like yet, so please, if you're just joining us, hit that like button. I want to get up to at least 250. Should be very easy. We also have 2 new members that have joined during this live, which is amazing. So hit that join button, see if you can help us out on a monthly basis and become part of the channel, get a rank, get some fun little emojis and stickers and stuff for during the lives, and get your name highlighted with a badge beside your name. Shows us how long you've been here. And we've got a really great crew, a lot of great people that have joined and have been here for a long time. So we really appreciate all you guys. So if you can, please do.
And it's probably fair, we only feel comfortable doing as much content as we do because you guys are supporting us as much as you are, and that's only up in the recent months. So that's like we are full steam ahead as long as they're going to talk about. So yeah, Stuart, there you go. Read the thing.
Ooh, we got a new poll. Look at that. And the new poll says, did you notice the visual effects effect in supervisor dialogue? Yes, I knew it was Gary Seven's people. Or no, I didn't catch it. Yeah, this will be an interesting one. I don't think a lot of people noticed it. As soon as I saw the effect, though, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's definitely cemented it, who it is. So she has to be an ISIS. Yeah, I agree with Matt. No, I don't. Well, I could be wrong, but that's my feeling. they basically they don't alter their form to look like anything. They just, the people viewing them see what they project, I guess. I don't know why he would think of Laris in that moment either, so that doesn't make sense either. So,
but
now,
it's all time paradox, interesting stuff. And the first time I watched it, I was thoroughly disappointed it was Laris, because it could easily be Laris with just eyes to blend in. She's a Tal Shar agent, that makes sense. And honestly, the first thing I thought was, okay, this is Laris from the past of when she knew Picard, when she was, say, only 76, and she was a Romulan time agent, because I'll accept that, the not Jat whichever, the Tal Shar people, they send people back, okay, I'm okay with that. And then they surgically did her ears, like Aaron Darvin, just way less elaborate, just the ears. And she's a Romulan time agent, and so she'll, like Guinan, be like, who are you? I'm not Irish, because there aren't any Irish people in LA, because, whatever. Everyone hates the English in this era, but they love Irish people. So, but it obviously isn't Laris, but it's that's what I thought going in. I thought it would be a Romulan time agent from the normal future, but not.
Yeah. Kit 10K throws in $10. I read that the actress who plays Laris is 60, and I'm going to admit she sure as hell does not look like it. She is definitely a beautiful and talented actress. Yes, same with what's her name from Book of Boba Fett?
Ming Na Wen.
Yeah, she's like 58.
Yeah.
I should probably read everything that Q says here.
Yes, you should.
Please note that this is the what is it here? The Jackson Roykirk Plaza. Roykirk is the gentleman that from who launched Nomad.
Mm-hmm.
That Nomad got confused with. Yep. And there's also people walking around with Europa mission patches on. So this girl is apparently an ancestor of Picard.
Now,
Dixon Hill.
Well, I read the subtitles and it didn't say her name, so I'm wondering where you got that from.
No, it was casting. So I forget who told me that, but her name is Renee Picard. Which in episode 1, Picard says Renee Picard was one of my ancestors that first explored the solar system, which I thought was interesting because that's what his nephew Renee was named after. So I thought, man, but it's this lady apparently,
which is
she's in charge of this Europa mission,
and it's probably a bit of a spoiler. I feel like I didn't want to know that. it was small, didn't want to know that.
But it makes this scene make sense.
Well, I there's a few things to take from this. I'm hoping that meeting the Picard descendant and the story that generates will actually make Picard want to have children, because if the Picard line is so powerful that, because I mean, why couldn't you have kids at 83 or 102, whatever it is? It's fine, it's science, medical. Maybe he won't be around for their entire life, but to make another Picard to finish the lineage, I think would be sweet. That felt like a big thing they were leading into, saying, I'm the last Picard, but he'll be so appreciative of meeting his family, and then he'll realise what happened to his mum, which will then, that'll probably be part of why he didn't want to have kids, he didn't want to carry on the trauma, and so that'll all come back, and that'd be a lovely way to end the show, is now he's got little children, and marrying somebody, that's been a thing we've been waiting for him to do for 35 years or whatever. So I hope that, meeting a happy Picard family, and a mini Picard, and these are all Picard, I've never met another Picard since my family got killed. I've never met another real Picard. That'd be wonderful, I think. I know I'm reaching a bit, given for such an old man, but I think that'd be lovely.
You're not, though. Not for the future.
Okay.
JB says they sent a PayPal donation. It's not showing up yet, so hold on a second.
They can sometimes take a little while, so hopefully it'll pop up.
Somebody asked if the Saturn mission has already happened. Yes, tomorrow was yesterday. They have, what's his name? His grandson or son, whatever, does this one of the first Saturn missions, which I think was in 2020, I believe. So yes, that's happened already. This is a Europa mission to go to the moon of Jupiter. So, but anyway,
yes, Q is here.
Q says here, you can't do it and you know it. I was sure you played the game for a while when nothing was at stake, when the only challenge was fooling everybody into thinking you had the nerve, into thinking that you had the nerve. But now it's real, and your fear is choking you. Well, here's the truth. You can't do it. People are going to die, and now your fear, your doubt, is the loudest voice in your head. And he does a snap. I don't know what he was trying to do with the snap, but it doesn't work. And she laughs. And could they make it any more Picard ancestor? Reading Dixon Hill, drinking tea. So, I don't know why he's monologuing to himself, but Turd Ferguson throws in $5. So it makes sense Gary's pet shows you what you want to see because Kirk saw a putty cat he wanted to boy. That's funny.
So, when watched the scene for the first time, I was disappointed in general because A, didn't know the lady was a Picard person, so there was no context there. Didn't even catch it was. I thought he was just a. Anyway, but I was like, oh, this is one of the only other Q scenes we've seen, and we want him to be a real part of this show. But having watched his interview last week, Delancey said, I actually was disappointed how little I'm in the show. I'm more just a guiding light. But if he was only in 6 episodes, and last week he was a 1-second cameo, this week plus he's in so little. We pretty much see his entire appearance in this season, and that just feels like throwing away the opportunity to the nth degree. Because this is not a good scene for him for me to enjoy. Like it's just a throwaway scene of okay, skip. Like not in a bad way, just a. I mean, it's not cute as best, not cute as worst. It's just boring Q. So I'm sad about it because it burns every one of those good performances. Whatever. Obviously, the click at the end is interesting, but we'll find out so soon. I don't like. Okay, whatever. I think, however,
unexpected and also.
But we've seen them lose their powers often, so it's not even like, oh, this again.
Yeah.
Shit. What I think happened, though, having watched it a few times, just this scene, I think this is an internal monologue. I think he's referring to himself.
Oh, really?
I think looking at her is he was already on a side thing, but he's completely in a monologue. So read it again, but now in the John Delancey, because for me it's so perfect for the Q.
Yes.
Read it again.
Okay, so this is inner monologue of Q thinking to himself, talking to himself.
In and outer monologue, yes.
He's done this change, or he's got to do something. Okay, you can't do it, and you know it. Oh, sure, you played the game for a while when nothing was at stake, when the only challenge was fooling everybody into thinking you had the nerve. But now it's real. The fear is choking. Jesus Christ. Well, here's the truth. You can't do it. People are going to die, and now your fear, your doubt, is the loudest voice in your head. So he snaps to make everything right again, and it fails. Damn, son, it's a totally different take on that scene.
Because who is the woman? We don't care, like yet. But I love that idea because he's a non-corporeal massive being. If he's currently in his power state, they wouldn't even be able to hear him necessarily if he doesn't want to. So he's just talking. But I love the idea of yes, he is this game player. He is this person that makes choices. He is in the situation we know. He's living his own truth. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think that makes the scene.
No, I absolutely agree.
Okay.
I absolutely agree. I did not get that at all until you said it, though. That changes it immensely for me.
From a throwaway scene to like oh shit, like it really
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't catch that because I was like blown away when I realized that. Because I also love that now he's locked in to be this guy. He's now because I'm assuming he's like taken on Vader's identity even maybe. Well,
now he's got to go talk to Brent Spiner and hand him the vial and help any way he can without using his powers.
Because now he knows he's screwed up. Like he was maybe gonna help fix a big problem. Now he really can't do anything. But luckily he's here. I hope we get a scene of him like on the bus. Mortals, you're puny, and oh my god, the pug guy's back. Be quiet!
All right, let's get to the super chats real quick. Let's get them out of the way, and then we can discuss some more. Kit 10K throws in $5. I agree with you, Samuel, about Picard possibly having kids at his age. It's the future. Why not? His family line deserves to continue to live on. Yeah, it's been a thing since generations. He didn't think he needed to have kids because his brother Robert had kids, and then that all went to shit. So, but Stephen Burnside, £9. Is the real story of this between Q and Picard for Picard to finally commit to a vulnerability of an intimate relationship with Laris beyond hopping on a good foot and doing the bad thing. So basically having sex with Laris. I mean, maybe. Yes. Have Jean-Luc do something with his life that would make him happy, truly happy, maybe. Casual Trekker throws in $5. Is this a flashback for Q? Because the paper says January and not April. Maybe. Interesting. General Grievous, $2. Maybe Picard's body is on ice. Get that sample. LOL. Oliver Lavery Farad throws in £20. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've probably covered this already, but just finish the episode. The most important part of this episode for me is the fact that we now know why Picard is the most British Frenchman ever. It's canon now, baby. Yeah, we mentioned it. I love the little reference. I thought it was very apropos. Because ever since TNG started, why does this Frenchman have a British accent? Really? That's what you're complaining about? It's the future, man. But anyway, we got an answer.
Yeah. But I hope we get Beverly. I hope we get Gates and him together at the end. I think that'd be apt. Or even, I mean, I'll even take the Lady for Insurrection. She chose to stop whatever her name is, Anise. You know, he went back there, and then we get digitally de-aged Patrick. It's like, I'll live forever on Baku homeworld because they're the Briar Patch particles, and now we've de-aged them both because they're both way too old to play the characters. That'd be funny.
Let me check to see if that PayPal's come in yet.
Yes, and Christian points out, yes, Sunday, January 31st. So Q is currently many months in the past.
Or it's an old newspaper.
Or it's a very, very old newspaper, yes. Which would be, I mean, that'd be interesting if then Q's forced to live in the past for 4 months. Well, I mean, everything's the past and present and future for him. It's all just time.
All right, well, JB's PayPal finally came in. It's $5, so thank you.
Thank you.
Says if Picard had kids now, wouldn't his kids kind of be android, human?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, not only that, android, humanoid, Romulan hybrids. Does his organic synth body even make viable sperm? Sure.
Fuck my life.
Maybe Q wants to give him the gift of being human again if he decides to open up his heart a little bit. Maybe turn him into a real boy. Anyway, General Grievous, $2. Kidding aside, how can a golem impregnate?
Shut up! I forgot it was a golem. I forgot because they don't tell us. I mean, they forget. I mean, I think they could resequence his sperm DNA from on file. We got
Q. Once Q gets his powers back, it's simple. Boom, you're human again. That's gonna.
Picard, you're saying you want children? Go procreate, my dear boy. It's disgusting, Q. Well, I'm. So I'll finish the poll. I asked, did you notice visual effects? And supervisor dialogue for Gary 7. No, 60% didn't catch it. 40% did. So I was on that 60%.
Doesn't surprise me. That's why I said it was probably not the best idea or the most likely scenario, because I figured a lot of people might not get the reference.
Oh, Matt.
But hey, it is what it is.
Okay, our final poll coming up.
We're only at 219 likes, guys. I wanted 220 at least, so hit that like button. We have 284 people here, so actually, you know what? I want to go for 250 now. Hit the like button if you haven't. Also, consider hitting the join button and joining the channel. We'd appreciate that. Mark Lawrence, though, throws in $5. The most amazing thing is that the LA Times is still limping along. The paper is smaller than a regular paper, too. Maybe Q is Picard's descendant. That's just... No.
Dear me.
Wow.
And James, they always said he is a synth in this timeline because Ducat killed him, and he became a synth. So both versions of him is a synth, which you'd think is going to.
Rios referred to it in this episode as well.
Well, but he's still meaning classic Picard because he wouldn't have necessarily got that memo. But that's gonna. You'd think that played an important part somewhere that he's still a synth because they could have easily made him human again for alternate universe, but to make him a synth again, that's got to at some point. So guys, I want to see a slew of final super chats as we get to our final scores. Put in your super chat score, Stuart will read. Non-super chat score, I will read. We'll get at least another $50 because we're doing very well. That would be a lovely christening to end off. 50 to 70. I'll be honest. I'll say 70 is the highest. We'll see. You guys are doing great. Put in those scores. I really want to know. I want to know what we're going to say because I have not worked out how I'm going to say it. I don't think Stu has either.
I haven't. SBS Guru 2000, €5. He's fully functional, programmed in multiple techniques, and has an advanced bioreplicator.
Not wrong.
General Grievous, $2. Maybe Q will make one part of Picard real. Wink wonk. And Zango 76, $5. Dixon with the episode, The Big Goodbye. I don't know who wrote the episode. Probably Tracy Torme would be my guess. Anywho, all right. So my scores.
And you appreciate less or more after this full breakdown.
Yeah, I'm
we did
getting
go
there.
depth.
I know. I do this every week. I don't need to be reminded. This episode I thought was good for me. I did enjoy it. I was a little taken out of it by the new Guinan actors, but and the Times Arrow thing was preoccupying my mind when I watched it. It did go by fairly quick. I think they were a little heavy-handed with a lot of the political stuff as well. Focused a little too much on it, and the car chase was, I think, too long. But other than that, some good stuff happened. Very interesting ending for sure. Not only just the Gary 7 supervisor type deal thing, but also the Q thing, which I always forgot about. Every time I watched it, I'm like, oh, black screen. Oh yeah, Q, shit. Because it's kind of forgettable, honestly. But it's an important thing now with the inner monologue and him talking to himself. I really like that aspect of it. Q's just getting old. He's 6, perhaps. That's been mentioned before as well. So I appreciate it a bit more now because of that. I was not looking forward to talking about this again, but I'm glad we did. So it might have changed it a little bit in my mind, for sure, talking to you, Samuel. So I appreciate that. Thank you. But score-wise, for this one, it'd probably be a 7.2 out of 10 for me for this season. For all of Picard,
7.2.
For all of Picard, this is still better than any of season 1, so I'm going to go with a 7.6 for this one.
Okay.
Don't know how that falls in line with my other scores, but
real interesting.
Okay, good. All right, so there you go. How about you?
Now, would you, because we've stopped doing this score, but I want to ask you as a broad stroke, would you consider this, because in the first two we actually gave them high ranks to all Trek, or all new Trek, should I say? How would this, not as a score number, but vibe-wise, would this rate high for you in an all Trek environment?
It would.
Or an all new Trek vibe? Like, would this be a good, just Star Trek episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good Star Trek episode, I think.
Okay.
Is what you're saying. So yeah, I would put it with some of the mediocre TNG episodes in there.
Yes, and guys, final super chats if you can. Scores, please put your scores in. We need $45, and we might right be there. So, my final thoughts. I was less enjoying it when talking to you this morning. You were definitely higher than I was, which we do flip a little bit sometimes. The ending now works a ton better, both for the Q personal revelation of it's just in a monologue and the Laris, not Laris. Those help a lot. Guinan's still one of the weaker parts of the episode, and given she's in a third of it, not so good. But it's always hard when you completely take a character out of context, radically change the context. It's like if you saw Kirk as a stripper on Venus down as luck with no confidence. It's like you couldn't really make that feel like Kirk because there's none of the Kirk left in that character. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to take all of the Guinan out of Guinan and be it Guinan still. So it didn't really work too well. But I don't think most people liked it per se. It was fine. Whatever. Timeline stuff, I think we'll get an answer. I think they'll have revealed. I have confidence enough in Terry the showrunner that, remember guys, they can lie publicly. It's not Khan. It'll line up with Canon. So it's better to hide a spoiler by mistruing, mistelling the truth, than to reveal. If they said this is a Q alternate fake reality, we would all say, doesn't matter what happens. It would remove the tension, you know? So I'm fine with being an alternate reality. I just wish they didn't say it early on, etc., because it does sort of muddy the water a bit. It's okay as an episode still. The real stuff, hit or miss. The acting's all good. Just it's not why I watch Trek for. You know, even the hard hitting DS9 episodes. There's a lot more good character stuff with the characters we know and like. There's more Trekinisms to it. There's the dark side to balance out. There's the defiant stuff of science stuff. It balances out the dark with the light with the themes way stronger. Here it's just in your face is bad. it's very one-dimensional. And there's just, hopefully this will be all we get. Hopefully as soon as Rios gets saved, that'll be, right, social commentary on that is done. Moving on. It was blunt. It was there. Moving on. Score-wise, though, I'm going to give it... So what are we doing? We're doing for enjoyment factor this season. Okay. Enjoyment, I would say a 6.5.
Okay.
Probably maybe lower than that in retrospect, just, but compared to Picard Season 1, yes, I think it's about where you are, 7.5-ish. But I would consider it a below-average Trek episode. Like, most of TNG's better, easily, at least more watchable.
That's why I said a mediocre TNG episode.
Yeah, so it's definitely a below-average Trek episode, but it pulls away almost all the Trek elements that I want to see. And definitely like a slump in quality. But I do think it's a travelling episode, and so next week I think they can really zone in.
I hope so.
And really because they're going to save Rios, and they'll have a plan, and then it'll be not Laris, and there'll be the Gary 7 stuff. Although because the new Star Trek Picard timeline rules, Gary 7 people never met Kirk. They'll not know about the Federation. They'll not know anything about that stuff. So it's kind of they've muddied the water there. So if they mention Kirk, they broke their own rules. And watch our videos, guys, because we have many videos coming out. All the videos come out on Saturday. There'll be a shotgun approach of videos looking at case studies of time travel, how it doesn't work, but times I really should exist.
Push that in a minute. We got a PayPal and we got some super chats to get to. So JB sent another PayPal. He said, Q said Picard broke reality because of his fear. I think this is referring to him activating the auto-destruct out of fear near the spatial tear. Picard will end up getting teleported or transported back to that moment and making the choice to trust the Borg Queen, which fixes everything in the last episode of the season. Yeah, absolutely. The whole look-up thing is going to be important.
That's good.
Sure.
Now, the only issue with that whole thing is that because of the new time travel rules, Picard has said, if Picard travels before the events of the first episode, before they blow up, then the entire season gets erased. And Jurati doesn't know the Borg Queen. They never were in the past because that's now how time travel works. Take away the cause and the effect is gone as well. And so he has to appear after.
You also got to think. You also got to think this is the Borg Queen from the Confederation timeline, not the Prime timeline.
Yes, absolutely, which is even more risky if she then makes it our way through. So they can't be a Jurati Borg Queen unless that Borg ship came from the Confederation timeline and managed to break through the barriers, which would be somewhat of an interesting double whammy. But Jurati can't be a Borg Queen because she can never have been assimilated with the wrong Borg Queens. If they changed the timeline, there was no nanoprobes in her system, according to their logic. Not how we would go, but very interesting.
All right.
Yes.
Here we go with the super chat. MC, $5. Do you think a slightly assimilated doctor will become the mask queen, setting up everything in episode 1?
It can't in the
Very
timeline
likely.
rules. But it can't in the timeline rules.
I know, but I think that's they're trying to hide that fact. So yes, I think that's a possibility. The Ronin, $2. I'll break with the group. Near perfect, 9 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Hey. Cool.
Christopher Beatty, $10. One thing I found fascinating in an earlier episode was that Q hit Picard in the nose where there was blood. We're sensibly that accurate in that respect.
Yes.
They're pretty much identical. Stephen W. Fathry, $5. We will be discussing this episode in 2 hours over at Text Trek channel.
Yes.
With Aaron Harvey from AK, also known as Geek Filter. Aaron's a good guy. Like it. Say hi to Aaron for us.
Hi, Aaron.
Kaylee Anderson throws in £5.
Thank you.
Just a thought. Could this Guinan be the where we see where what?
Oh, interesting.
Could this Guinan be where we see where the rivalry becomes? Yes. I thought the same thing.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that might be the case, hopefully, because everybody's wondering about that as well.
Except this guy won't remember because they never went back in time if they fixed the timeline. So, no. Again, according to Picard rules, which are not... Whatever. That would be...
They don't make any goddamn sense.
That would be really cool, though, actually.
It would.
That would actually be really... She dealt with him once 300 years ago when he was a human, and then he got his powers mid-time, and... I mean, she helped him get his powers back and always regretted it. That would have been fun if you were... different writers. Interesting.
Kit 10K throws in $50. So thank you so much. Definitely needing this live today.
Oh.
My friend Sasha, she was having a heart attack last night, but it was a severe asthmatic attack. She also sneezed, so had that. She tore a muscle in her chest, and she had a hard time breathing. Thankfully, she's okay. Well, sorry to hear all that, but I am glad she's okay.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
a scary situation.
Go see her. Hope everything goes well. Sounds like it will do, but wow. All the best.
Dave, £2. Are the Watchers looking over Michael Burnham? Jesus Christ, who cares? No, she's just so perfect. She doesn't need to be watched over. Prime 1351, $5. Did you catch the recreation of the entire street from the city on the edge of tomorrow? Yes, even down to the 21st Street mission. Yeah, absolutely. And the boxing thing's still on the wall, on the brick wall. Yep.
And I didn't notice, but I love that that's the thing, because it's so out of focus, you know. But that's
Yeah.
it's kind of fun actually. I like how they're making it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I all for it.
General Grievous puts in $2. Ian before Guinan stabs a repowered Q with a spork. LOL.
With a spork.
Okay. Now, what were some of the
Yes.
Super Chat scores?
Okay, so to reiterate, you gave it. No, take it away. Anyway, 7-ish, and I gave it whatever. Right, non-Super Chat scores are in, and they say 7 out of 10, 7.8, 7, 8, 6 to 7, 4, 7, 6, 9.975. Nathan, almost perfect. Cruising along at maximum warp speed. 6 out of 10, 6, 7, but now we drop the Q bomb. 8, your hair. 6, 7, 8, 6.5, 7 out of 9. So let's say 7.5 out of 10. A punk callback gets a 9.5. Yes, that's the best scene of the film, or the episode. 6, 8.5, 7.75, 5 out of 10 from a name I can't pronounce really. Grievous 5.8, Donnie 9. Although Don doesn't give bad scores, he just likes everything, so I've noticed that. Final comments 9, 7, 8. So pretty high. But you know, if you like if you like the Guinan actress, it'd be a lot higher. I mean, I would love to have de-aged Guinan. You know, would love that. I think Whoopi would have been a better performance, more nuance, etc. But hopefully they'll give this actress a second chance. Hopefully her seeing and hearing the future is going to be better will make her be more positive, and that will give us a scene where she actually be like Guinan. Would be nice. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Just act like Whoopi. James McGill, member for 18 months of the Ricky Commanders. Thank you, James.
Super long.
Who would win, Q or feisty Guinan? Live long and prosper.
I mean, currently Guinan would win because
Don't
he's
know.
not got his powers. Should bitch slap him and punch him and all the many things.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so tune in for all of our videos on Saturday and on Sunday. Check them out. We do all the different perspectives. We're not necessarily taking a side. We're just showing the possibilities. And wish me luck, guys. I'm filming Trek shorts at the weekend. Our next Nim short. Haven't seen her in this year yet, so it's been a while. And the last poll I said 174 votes. What do you think? 43% liked it, 29% was okay, 18% loved it, and 10% didn't like it. So that rings true a little bit.
Indeed. Well, I'm glad we talked about it. I didn't feel like talking about it all day, but
we didn't talk about the time stuff pretty much at all, Stuart. So we avoided it like the plague.
I know.
We did good.
We sidestepped it a few times. And yeah, watch the videos tomorrow if you're interested in time travel stuff. So,
Yes.
what was I going to say? I was going to say something. God damn it. Anyway, don't remember. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. This was an awesome live. You cheered me up, and I appreciate that. And I really appreciate, that's what I'm going to say, I really appreciate your take on that last little bit with Q talking to himself. I love it. I love it. And the snap was like, to change everything right again. And it's like, shit. That explains his reaction to at the end where he says, that's unexpected and most unfortunate. Shit.
Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily going to change it all back and fix it, but just the next step in his plan. And it's like, I'm only step 3 of 6. Shit.
Yeah.
Now it goes off the rails.
Shit.
Yeah. which is fun. Now he might be fun Q, like in a sort of deranged sort of way. What is Q that has powers, etc. Thank you, Kit.
Kit 10K, $5. Good luck with filming tomorrow, Samuel, and later, guys.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we'll call it there.
All right, I'm going to set my studio again because I wait until after dinner because people need the space.
Yeah.
All right.
Have fun with that and good luck.
Thank you.
So,
I'm sure I'll see you on Monday, and we'll see you on Monday. You'll see us tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday.
yes.
And have a great weekend, everyone.
That's right. So until next time, he's Commander Coffee.
He's got a Foley. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.